And welcome to another edition of the Football Friday Show with yours truly, NYG Jeffy T85. And I hope everybody is staying warm. It's very chilly right now on the East Coast. So, everybody, I hope you're staying warm. I hope everybody's safe. And I hope you're all enjoying your Friday. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. And this is going to be the first weekend since all the way back in the beginning of September where there's really going to be no football at all. Unless you want to count the Pro Bowl. I mean, they've already done the skills competition. So I guess that counts as something. But in reality, there's really no football going on right now in the NFL. It's just pretty much the Pro Bowl. It's like your week off before you get ready for the Super Bowl. And just to get into the Super Bowl, we all know the participants. It's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles that are going to be in the Super Bowl this year. Obviously, both teams, they've been two of the best teams, if not the two best teams in the NFL this entire season. Every single time these two teams have pretty much been the best teams the entire season all through. Case in point, Philadelphia just absolutely ran roughshod over San Francisco. Now, I know San Francisco was dealing with some quarterback issues, so it makes a lot of sense why they really didn't go out there and perform as well as they did because Brock Purdy got injured, their starting quarterback at the time. Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance obviously are both out due to injury. And then obviously you have the injury to Josh Johnson, and Purdy had to go back into the game when wasn't even able to throw the ball at all except for a couple of dump off plays. And pretty much the only big play they had was through the running game, which pretty much was going through Christian McCaffrey and sometimes through Deebo Samuel because Elijah Mitchell also did not play in that game against the Philadelphia Eagles. And it was pretty much a thorough domination from the Philadelphia Eagles in terms of their offensive line, their defensive line, running the football, passing the football. Everything that Philadelphia wanted to do in that game, they did. It was just sheer domination by the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's a reason why the Eagles were pretty much able to go out there and take care of business. And now they are on their way to the Super Bowl to take on the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes after Patrick Mahomes has been dealing with a sprained or has been dealing with a sprained ankle, a high ankle sprain that he injured back in the divisional round against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And he was able to play through the pain and make some big plays like we all know Patrick Mahomes can do, but even more incredible with the fact that he was able to do it with a messed up ankle and lead his team to the Super Bowl. After as well, on third down, Patrick Mahomes was able to make a big run on the outside to pick up the first down with his legs while in massive amounts of pain and lead his team to the victory. And now they are back in the Super Bowl for literally the third time in the last 5 years. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs are back in the Super Bowl, and the Philadelphia Eagles are also back in the Super Bowl for the second time in the last 6 years. Obviously, remember what happened the last time they were in the Super Bowl. They defeated the New England Patriots, and they're now it's going to be a very interesting battle between both teams, so I'm curious to see how everything's going to go between both of them, so we'll have to wait and see. Coach's Corner, what's going on? Thank you so much for coming by the live stream. I hope you're enjoying your Friday overall. Appreciate you being here, too. But, yeah, either way, the Super Bowl's been set. AFC, Kansas City, Philadelphia, and the NFC. I expect this to be a very good game. I don't expect either one of these teams to go out there and absolutely just dominate the other. I think it's going to be close overall, but at the same time, have to see how Patrick Mahomes is looking in terms of his leg. Have to see how overall the Philadelphia Eagles are going to play. You have little injuries here or there. Jalen Hurts has been dealing with a shoulder injury, but I think Jalen Hurts is going to be okay in this game heading forward in the Super Bowl. So a lot of interesting storylines to follow as well. But either way, I expect this to be a very, very good game overall. And I think in the end, well, I'm not going to let you know. You're going to have to find out who exactly I'm going to pick for the Super Bowl. You got a week until I'm going to tell you who's going to win the Super Bowl. Either way, it's going to be a lot of fun. Raphael, what's going on, bro? Hope you're doing well, Raph. Thank you so much for coming by the live stream, and I hope you're enjoying your Friday. So, pretty much, we are also in the NFL offseason talk. If you're a Giants fan, obviously we know the deal. We're trying to find out what's going to happen with our assistant coaches, defensive coordinator Wink Martindale, offensive coordinator Mike Kafka. Right now, both coordinators are up for head coaching positions as we speak. The Indianapolis Colts are apparently going through 3 rounds of friggin' coaching right now. I don't friggin' understand. What's going on, Earl? Good afternoon to you too as well, my friend, and hope you're enjoying your workday today on Friday. We're right now in our 3rd round with the Indianapolis Colts when it comes to the coaching search. I don't know why they have to go through 3 rounds. It's got to be a Jim Irsay special or something. So right now the Colts are going through their 3rd round. Wink Martindale is considered a favorite and a front runner for the Indianapolis head coaching position. Mike Kafka might be a front runner so far for the Arizona job, as well as he could be a front runner as well for the Colts job. Obviously, we know a couple of the other coaching positions that have been taken care of so far this offseason. Sean Payton is now the head coach of the Denver Broncos after trade compensation with, I believe it was a 1st-round pick and a 2nd-round pick for Sean Payton, who is now officially the head coach of the Denver Broncos, and you have to see if he's going to be able to resurrect Russell Wilson after the horrible year he had this past season under new Jets offensive coordinator and last season's head coach of the Denver Broncos, Nathaniel Hackett. Frank Reich, the former head coach of the Indianapolis Colts, is now going to take his talents over to Carolina, and he is now the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. Have to see who's going to be the quarterback of that team. It could be Sam Darnold. Maybe they could give a shot to Matt Corral, or maybe they go into the draft and find they're successful over there. But Frank Reich, who's one of the better offensive minds in the NFL, is now officially the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, and have to see what he's going to be able to do with that offense over there in Carolina heading into the 2023 NFL season. And then, of course, you have DeMeco Ryans, who was right after the trade competition went down with Sean Payton over in Denver. DeMeco Ryans was hired as the head coach of the Houston Texans, which was long overdue because of the job that he was doing for the San Francisco 49ers as the defensive coordinator over there. And it's an absolute well-deserved job for DeMeco Ryans to be able to take care and be the head coach over there in Houston. And curious to see who they might go over there and hire as their offensive coordinator. But one of the better defensive young minds in the NFL. And he was a former 2nd-round pick of the Houston Texans all the way back in the 2000s. So it makes sense that he's going to be able to go back to his old stomping grounds and be able to be the head coach over there in Houston going forward. Those are some of your off-season notes that you're listening to right now. Obviously, you're going to have a whole lot of rumors going around. The latest rumor going around the NFL is Derek Carr to the New Orleans Saints. How about that? Derek Carr as a Saint. That just dropped, at least I believe, earlier this morning or late yesterday. Derek Carr is a Saint. I don't know how they're going to be able to pull that off. Obviously, Andy Dalton and Jameis Winston are not the answers over there in New Orleans. Figured maybe they would go after a younger quarterback option in the draft, or maybe like another quarterback option through free agency. But it sounds like that they're going to be possibly taking their hands on Derek Carr. And we obviously know the rumors going around. Derek Carr wrote a letter this past offseason thanking the organization of Las Vegas and Oakland for the amount of time that he spent over there as a Raider. So it sounds like that door is pretty much going to be closing soon, and it looks like he's going to be making his exit from the Las Vegas/Oakland Raiders in the near future. But you have to wonder, where is Derek Carr's next destination? Is it going to be New Orleans? Is it going to be the Jets? Could it be the Rams if Stafford eventually retires? A lot of options out there for where Derek Carr could potentially go next. And I don't think you're going to be hearing a lot of NFL news from now until the beginning of the league year on March 15th. But Derek Carr is going to be one of the interesting news articles to listen to. And obviously, the biggest news that dropped a couple of days ago the retirement of Tom Brady. Tom Brady officially, I guess he made an Instagram post on Bleacher Report that dropped not that long ago, pretty much stating that he is going to be retiring from the NFL for good. So Tom Brady is officially done now with the National Football League. Have to wonder, though, if an NFL team who is on a potential run for a Super Bowl might exactly go over there and call up Tom Brady and decide to see if they can maybe get him to unretire again. But right now, Tom Brady says that he is officially done with the NFL. He's retiring overall in his career. So Tom Brady, arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, is officially hanging it up. So congratulations to Tom Brady on a very long and lengthy NFL career. I mean, the dude, he set the mark of being the all-time greatest quarterback. I mean, you look at these numbers, they're absolutely insane. 335 games total. He is 251 and 82 in his career with a 64.3 completion percentage over his career. 89,214 yards passing. It's arguable if he wanted to keep going, he could have actually had 100,000 yards passing. He had 649 touchdowns to 212 interceptions, and obviously the guy's going to be on his way to Canton. He's a multi-time Super Bowl champion. I believe he's won 8 Super Bowls in his career, 7 with the New England Patriots, and then he won 1 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So Tom Brady is officially now retired from the NFL, and you have to wonder where his next step is going to be going forward. Or if a team is in position to potentially go on a run this year, would they call up Tom Brady, a.k.a. San Francisco? I know the rumors have been thrown out there initially, but it sounds like that Tom Brady has squashed all of that. It sounds like he is going to be happily retired, and you have to wonder if Tom Brady is going to be potentially on his way to maybe the booth and potentially being a commentator for the NFL going forward. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen overall. What's going on? All channels alike. Thank you very much, Earl. Mitch, what's going on, bro? Yo, what's up? I will be on soon, working on behind the scenes stuff. Don't worry about it, bro. Take your time. I'm just chilling here, just talking football. No worries. And also some of the other news that went on, Aaron Rodgers. Sounds like that Aaron Rodgers might be potentially on the trade block for the Green Bay Packers. Not completely sure if it's actually going to happen, but it sounds like that Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers look like they're going to be heading towards a divorce. Just the question is, what kind of compensation would it take to trade for Aaron Rodgers? What team is out there that would want to try to acquire Aaron Rodgers? You know, you heard the Jets. Maybe San Francisco could be another team that could trade for Aaron Rodgers. So we'll have to wait and see. But there's a lot of different components that are going to be going around on this story with Aaron Rodgers and his potential trade interest out there for the Green Bay Packers going forward. So it's a lot of things to unpack right now in terms of the NFL offseason, and obviously getting ready for the Super Bowl, as you're going to be having the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs that will be in the Super Bowl a week from Sunday. So first of all, I hope everybody is enjoying your Friday. It is bitter cold right now out there, so make sure you guys better stay warm, stay cool. Stay warm, stay inside if you haven't already. Have a good work Friday overall, and hopefully everybody is enjoying your day. And also, everybody see it all over the place. Mock draft season. I've seen everybody out there dropping their mock drafts immediately already. 7-round mock drafts, 3-round mock drafts, 2-round mock drafts, 1-round mock drafts, how the first round could play out, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I know a lot of people are getting ready for mock draft season. So I'm curious to see what you guys are interested in terms of your mock drafts. Alex Harbula, what's going on, my brother? How you doing today? So I'm curious to see what all you guys' mock drafts right now are and who you'd like to see. If you've done any initial scouting so far in terms of draft prospects, I've done a little bit. I'm going to get more thoroughly involved in it as we go along. But curious to see what some of your mock drafts are going forward. Well, I know you're not, but I'm talking about the draft. So I'm curious to see, some of the mock drafts that you guys are going forward. I know Bucky Brooks just recently did his first round mock draft, his first one overall. just recently. So might as well go over it to see what his first round mock draft is, and Daniel Jeremiah's as well. So let's see. Daniel Jeremiah's top 50 draft picks overall. He's got Jalen Carter as his number 1 draft pick overall, the kid from Georgia. Not surprising at all. He's one of the top players in the college ranks, obviously coming off that incredible Georgia defense that absolutely dismantled TCU in the national championship game. Will Anderson, another big defensive prospect that's coming out in this draft overall. He's another kid coming out of Alabama. That's another kid that is a potential high-round draft pick, especially for the Chicago Bears, who look like they might be willing to trade their first-round pick and trade back to look for maybe some potential more draft assets as a team, because the Chicago Bears are one of those teams that look like they can become a very good team very quickly if they can be able to maneuver around the NFL draft going forward. Obviously, we know about the quarterbacks, Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud. You got running back Bijan Robinson, where a lot of people are high out of Texas. This kid is electric. This kid is powerful. He's got a good lateral quickness. Another big-time player that could be coming out of the NFL draft early, Devin Witherspoon, a cornerback out of Illinois, as well as you got Ringo out of Georgia. You got Peter Skoronski coming out of Northwestern, the offensive tackle, the top offensive tackle out of this NFL draft. You got Tyree Wilson, edge player, another edge player coming out of Texas Tech. So you got 3 edge players who could potentially be top picks in this NFL draft. Keion White, another edge player coming out of Georgia Tech. So a lot of edge players coming out of this draft potentially as top picks overall. Utah's Dalton Kincaid. You got Jordan Addison, quite a few wide receivers as well. Tyree Wilson, edge player out of Texas Tech. I mentioned him before. You got Meyer coming out of Notre Dame, another player. You got Will Levis, another quarterback that could potentially get some play in the NFL draft. Kid out of Kentucky. You got Anthony Richardson. Everybody seems to be gushing over Anthony Richardson's athleticism coming out of this NFL draft. Everybody wants to get this kid. He seems like to be the new guy, like that Malik Willis type player. Incredibly explosive, electric with the ball in his hands. Still a little bit raw, though, in terms of his quarterback play. Needs to be a little bit – he needs to refine the rest of his mechanics and his quarterback play. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen going forward with a guy like Anthony Richardson. But he's a guy that's right now electric behind the scenes on the quarterback position. Curious to see where he might fall. You got offensive tackles, Paris Johnson out of Ohio State and Broderick Jones out of Georgia. A couple of other big-time offensive tackles that could get some play overall going forward into the NFL draft. Joey Porter Jr., another top-rated cornerback in Penn State. A lot of people are looking at him as being a potential guy that could be a top-rated pick, maybe somewhere in the teens, maybe even early 20s. Darnell Washington, another one. Miles Murphy at the edge out of Clemson. Darnell Washington, the tight end out of Georgia, an explosive tight end. He's very tough overall. Could be a guy that teams could be looking for. Nolan Smith, the other edge rusher over there for the Georgia Bulldogs that a lot of people could be looking at. Christian Gonzalez, another great top cornerback coming out from Oregon. You got Emmanuel Forbes coming out of Mississippi State, another top cornerback. Lots and lots and lots of playmakers on the defensive side that could be coming out of this draft. And obviously, another guy I'm going to talk about, Trenton Simpson, coming out of Clemson. This kid is electric as well. You want to talk about the top-rated guy at the linebacker position, you can't go any further than Trent Simpson. This kid is the guy you want. He can play all over the field. He can play linebacker. He can even shift over to safety. He can play a little bit of cornerback. He can play it all. He's an unbelievable player. Nova, what's going on, my friend Nova Nebula? How you doing? Thank you so much for coming by the live stream, my friend, for this Football Friday afternoon. But that's just a couple of the top prospects that are going to be coming out of the draft as well. So I'm going to keep going over a little bit more of the draft stuff as well as just going over what to expect in the NFL. And if you guys want to throw out some of your questions in the chat, Giants questions, NFL Super Bowl early predictions, what you want to see, draft questions, anything you want to throw out there, throw them out there, and I'm going to be willing to answer them to the best of my abilities for you guys. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of things coming out right now in terms of these mock drafts overall. Curious to see what's going to happen. Right now for the New York Giants, in terms of Bucky Brooks' first-round draft, they have the Giants selecting Zay Flowers out of Boston College with their first-round pick, the electric wide receiver overall from Boston College. Not very big kid. I think he's about 5'9", 5'10". But when this kid has the ball in his hands, he is fast. He is quick. He can pretty much go in any position on the field. This is a kid that if we're going for a wide receiver and just the type of skill set that Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka are looking for in terms of their wide receivers, Zay Flowers is one of those guys that fits the bill. You put him in the slot, you put him on the outside, have him run a go route, have him run one of those twitch routes in the middle of the field. He's a guy that you just get the ball in his hands. You can even have him come out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands, and let him go. That's the type of explosive playmaker Zay Flowers is out of Boston College. Simpson would be great to have, especially since he looks like Wink will be staying as well as Kafka, which was great. Well, I don't know if that's true, if they're both actually staying. Wink Martindale is apparently right now a finalist for the head coaching position for the Indianapolis Colts, so I can't say it's a guarantee. Both of them are staying. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen, but we'll see. I'm not guaranteeing Wink and Kafka are both staying. I would like to have Flowers, but there are plenty of other receivers I'd be happy with. That's the beauty about this NFL draft, too, especially the wide receiver position. One of my good buddies that shared an article in the Bleacher Report talked about wide receivers' efficiencies so far and, how they did in the NFL draft. 4 wide receivers in the first round did pretty decent. 4 wide receivers in the second round, 4 wide receivers in the third round, and even a couple in the fourth round. The wide receiver position is not exactly something you essentially need to get in the first round. So, that's the thing right now is you don't need to essentially have to go out there and get a wide receiver in the first round. You can obviously get a top quality guy in the second round. You can get a top quality guy in the third round. You can get a top quality guy in the fourth round even. That's the beauty about the wide receiver position. There's a lot of good players coming out of this draft. I don't know if any of these wide receivers coming out are as dynamic as the ones we've seen in the past couple of years. In 2020, you had the likes of Justin Jefferson, Brandon Ayuk. You had Michael Pittman Jr. You had T. Higgins. You had a lot of explosive wide receivers coming out of that draft. 2021, obviously we know the names. Devontae Smith, who's in the Super Bowl right now. Jalen Waddle, Amon St. Brown, Jamar Chase. Elijah Moore is another one. Kadarius Toney, if you want to throw him in there, that's another electric wide receiver. And then obviously this past draft that just came out. You had guys like Jameson Williams, who didn't really get a chance to play. He was coming off an ACL injury, but he's another explosive player for Detroit. You obviously got Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave over there. Olave with the Saints, Wilson with the Jets. So there's a lot of big-time players that could be explosive playmakers coming out in the draft. I wonder if the Giants would have any interest in B.J. Ojulari, the younger brother of Azeez. Some people said he may have a higher ceiling. Yeah, we can draft a high-quality wide receiver in every round. Exactly. B.J. Ojulari is an interesting prospect. I don't know how they feel about B.J. Ojulari as a prospect. Maybe as like a mid-round guy. I think Ojulari might go somewhere around the third, maybe fourth round. I think he's a little bit of an undersized player, undersized pass rusher out of LSU. So I'm interested to see where B.J. Ojulari would go. He might have a very high upside. I just have to wonder how it's going to translate when it gets into the NFL overall. What's going on, Nikki? Another good content creator here, Mr. Nicky Stees. And yes, I know we need multiple wide receivers, not just one. We need multiple wide receivers on the New Yorks, not just one guy, because the fact we are so, we pretty much relied on a lot of guys that a lot of people would say have no business being on the New York, being in the NFL in the position that they're in. We had to rely on guys like Isaiah Hodgins, who actually played very well and is going to be deserving of a contract extension potentially this offseason. You also had guys like, Richie James, who was more of a backup, if anything. You had Darius Slayton, who's a free agent. Richie James is also a free agent this offseason. Obviously, we know about the whole Kenny Golladay situation. Pretty much did nothing this year. He didn't even cross 100 yards receiving for a guy that you paid $72 million over 4 or 5 seasons. He's going to be a cut candidate overall this offseason. And obviously, you have other guys too, like Colin Johnson, who unfortunately suffered an Achilles injury during the offseason or during the training camp. He's going to be coming back. It seems like he might be a little bit ahead of schedule, potentially coming back overall. Exactly. Rick James, bitch. There you go, Nikki. But yeah, Colin Johnson's going to be on his way back overall from injury. Had to see where he's going to be going in. If he's going to factor in overall with some of these other wide receivers going into the training camp, preseason, etc. So there's just like a couple of guys out there that could potentially factor into the wide receiver position for the New York Giants going into the 2023 season. Obviously, you had Marcus Johnson, another guy they picked up during the season as a wide receiver, so we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. Butterfly, what's going on, Butterfly? How are you doing? Hope you're enjoying your Friday so far and hope you're staying warm. Here's some of the wide receivers coming out of the draft, and you guys let me know what you think about them. First one, Quentin Johnson. I believe Quentin Johnson is the top-ranked wide receiver going into this NFL draft. He pretty much has everything you want in a prototypical wide receiver. 6'4", 201 pounds. He runs a 4.53 overall. He's projected to be in the first round, obviously. I think this kid has got a lot of talent. He's a good route runner, can beat you with some deep speed. Not the fastest wide receiver, but he's very, very deceptive with his speed overall. Very solid route runner for a 6'4", 200-plus pound wide receiver. He's also one of those guys that he can beat you over the top. He can beat you over the middle of the field, be somewhat of a possession wide receiver. He's pretty much the top of the guy you look for. Are we talking mostly off-season, Jeff? You can talk anything you want, Arcoon. Off-season, you can talk about the Super Bowl, whatever you want to talk about, brother. And thank you so much for coming by the live stream as well. And we can talk about anything when it comes to the NFL. Off-season, we can talk about the Super Bowl, talk about anything you want. It's just really dependent on what your interest is when it comes to the NFL. But, a guy like Johnson is pretty much the prototypical guy right now in terms of the wide receiver position overall for the NFL. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen overall going into this NFL draft. Then obviously you got a guy like Jackson Smith-Njigba overall. He's the next guy that would be on the list. 6 foot, 197 pounds, 4 foot. Runs a 4.4 right now, projected 4.4 speed overall. He's not a big wide receiver. He got banged up a whole lot last year, suffered a pretty significant knee injury overall. He's that other wide receiver overall. Here, guys, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'll be right there. Sorry, guys, for a second. But, yeah, just going over some more of the wide receiver prospects that are going to be coming out this year in the NFL draft. Jackson Smith-Njigba, he dealt with some injury issues last year, so he really didn't get a chance to go out there and show what he could do, but he's a very solid route runner over the middle of the football field. He's one of those guys that is like more of those twitchy wide receivers in the middle of the football field. He's like one of those guys that you want to get the ball to him in space and let him just try to use some of his speed over the middle of the field and game-breaking ability. He's obviously another one of those great wide receivers coming out of Ohio State that you look at. This guy is absolutely as explosive as can be, obviously like his predecessors before, like a Chris Olave and also like a Garrett Wilson who were with the team last year. So those are a couple of guys that you could look for in terms of being explosive. Jackson Smith-Njigba, you just have to wonder about his size. You have to wonder about his weight and if this guy can be able to stay healthy going into the rest of this offseason. But he's another guy that you look at as a potential top wide receiver going into this NFL draft. Zay Flowers, the guy I was just mentioning before, the kid out of Boston College, 5'10", 180 pounds overall. This kid, like I mentioned, is absolutely electric. When you get the ball in this kid's hands, he's going to break one, potentially the distance. This kid, you can put him in the slot. You can put him on the outside. This is another kid, you can put him even in the backfield, similar to what the Giants did with a guy like Kadarius Toney, and obviously what they did with Wan'Dale Robinson, another player as well, who you threw pretty much in the backfield. You could throw him all around on the football field, and this kid could just get the ball in his hands pretty much. Get the ball in his hands and let him use his natural ability to go out there and break one overall. Changing the topic, do you think Brady will take a short contract and retire with the Patriots? He will make some easy money that way. Yeah, he's definitely going to take a short contract with the he's 1,000% taking a short contract with the New England Patriots. He's going to retire a Patriot after all he did with that team overall. Absolutely, that's going to happen. What's going on, Miz? How you doing, bro? Thank you so much for coming by the live stream, and I hope you're enjoying your time down there in nice, warm Florida while we are friggin' sitting here freezing our asses off over here in New Jersey. My Cowboys in trouble once again. Jerry Jones want to be in the middle of everything. Bro, I'm telling you, Arku, unless Jerry Jones can just stop meddling in everything with his team, that team is going nowhere this year. They're going nowhere. The quarterback absolutely regressed this offseason. He absolutely regressed big time this offseason overall. And you have to wonder if, in fact, Dak Prescott's the answer. The guy led the league in turnovers last year. Obviously, we saw his performance that he had against the San Francisco 49ers during the divisional round. The guy was turning the ball over left and right. Saw the last game of the season. So, I mean, is Dak Prescott really the answer over there with the Dallas Cowboys? But they can't get out of his contract. He makes too much money. That's the problem. He just makes too much damn money over there. And obviously, Ezekiel Elliott, he wants to come back with the Dallas Cowboys, but is he going to be able to? At his contract, you're going to have to try to rework something because CeeDee Lamb is going to be due for some type of contract extension going into the offseason. Obviously, Tony Pollard, unfortunately, he suffered a bad foot injury during the end of the offseason. But right now, he is another guy that's going to have to be taken care of if they're going to be able to pay for him. And you have a couple of other guys on the defensive side you got to think about. Maybe even Trayvon Diggs might be in line for potential extension after next year. The crazy thing is he retired the same day last year and unretired 48 days later. He says that he retired. I have to really believe he's going to do it. See, these things with these NFL players, if you give them a perfect situation, like if San Francisco went over there and they called up Tom Brady with that team that they have right now with the 49ers, where it's clear as day they need a quarterback because Purdy obviously is going to be out the next 6 months with a torn UCL. He's not going to be coming back until probably around, latter end of training camp or around the beginning of the season. Obviously, Trey Lance is coming off a serious leg injury that he had, and he's pretty much had 2 years where he's done nothing so far in the NFL. So you have to think about it. Who is the answer at quarterback for San Francisco? Jimmy Garoppolo, they already pretty much said he's not coming back as the quarterback. They pretty much said their goodbyes to Jimmy Garoppolo this past offseason. So who is your quarterback right now going into the season in 2023? Who is it? That's the greatest question right now you got to ask. 87, sunny, about to go field, do jog and some CrossFit, Ms. Kyle. Bro, enjoy it. Enjoy it over there, down there in sunny old Philadelphia, Florida. Hope you enjoyed down there, man. I somewhat missed that Florida weather, but not really, because I don't mind being up here in the cold, chilly New Jersey. Just feels right. A butterfly. That's on the front office. Well, Stephen Jones has got to keep his father in line. That's the problem. Stephen Jones has got to keep his father in line and start taking control of that football team going forward. That's the problem. He's got to be the one to take control of that football team going into the offseason. Seriously, he can't let his father go out there and pretty much try to make all these ridiculous moves and for stuff that's not going to help out the team going into the 2023 NFL season. Dallas has got a lot of decisions to make as well this offseason. You think I trust the front office? Hell no, I don't blame you. What Dallas Cowboys fan ever trusts their front office? After what they've seen the past almost 30 years, who the hell as a Dallas Cowboy fan is going to trust their front office? It's been 27, 28 years where that team has been absolutely underachieving after they've had top team after top team after top team, talent here, talent there, running game, great offensive line, good defense. They don't have a head coach. I don't know who your offensive coordinator is going to be now, too, because Kellen Moore decided to part ways from Dallas and decided to go over there with the Los Angeles Chargers. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen with them. Let's see. Both Jerry and Steven. Well, I mean, that's a problem if Stephen Jones is not, doing the job over there with Dallas either. He's got to know what he's doing over there in Dallas as well, because he's going to have to be the central figure on the potential turnaround if Dallas is ever going to be in a position to potentially win this year. I miss winter, some snow. We actually have not had any snow except for like a little bit of flurries here or there here in New Jersey. There really has not been any snow at all. It's actually been a very dry winter in New Jersey so far, New York. Not really like anything in terms of like just monsoon like snow, blizzard like weather. It's just pretty much been dry, and it's supposed to be bitterly cold the next couple of days. It's supposed to even drop down to single digits for the next couple of days over here. What's going on, Coles? How you doing, bro? Stephen Jones, cheap, he worse. I mean, if he's going to be cheap, does that mean that he's going to not bring back Ezekiel Elliott, or is he going to pretty much slash his contract and slash his deal? Like, what's going to happen with Zeke? Are you guys pretty much under the assumption that Ezekiel Elliott is either going to come back on a cheap deal or they're pretty much just going to let him go? Like, I'm curious to hear what you guys are going to think is going to happen with Ezekiel Elliott. Is he going to come back or is he gone? It was more if we didn't want Kellen Moore. You want to move on from Zeke? I don't blame you. I think Zeke is almost getting washed. I think Zeke's washed. It's unfortunate what happened to Pollard because of that injury he had on his leg. I mean, I kind of wish that he's going to be able to come back healthy, because I never want to see anybody get hurt, even if it's your mortal enemy team, a team that you dislike. You don't ever want to see anybody get hurt. And it's a shame because Pollard looked like after the season he was having this year, he looked like he was going to be a guy that could potentially be, getting paid big time this offseason. There's a lot of good top quality running backs that are coming out this offseason. You got Saquon Barkley as one of them. You got Miles Sanders. You got Kareem Hunt. You got Josh Jacobs. Tony Pollard's another one. Quite a few top running backs are going to be looking for big paydays this offseason. Obviously, the Giants have to deal with Saquon Barkley right now, and there's a lot of reports going around that the Giants already have started initial talks with Saquon Barkley. He's looking to potentially right now for around $16 million, where Christian McCaffrey got his contract back in 2020. But obviously, the Giants, they tried to work out a deal with him for about $12 million. Saquon Barkley initially turned that down. They're still having more discussions. Obviously, Daniel Jones is another factor to look at going into this offseason. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen with the New York Giants going into forward with the offseason. I want us to move on from ZK. ZK is done. I think he is, he's like, 27, 28 years old, and he's already done. The shelf life of a running back. There you go. The shelf life of a running back. Guys that get to their latter 20s and they're already breaking down. There's no like Frank Gores out there. There's no, Adrian Petersons. There's no guys that are going into their 30s that are still playing. LaDainian Tomlinson, another one. Curtis Martin. Top running backs that were playing in their 30s and still playing at a pretty high level. Nowadays, you see running backs that are just pretty much falling apart when they get to their end of their 20s. That's why I'm a little bit hesitant on giving Saquon Barkley a big-time, long-term deal because of the fact he is 26 years old and he finally was able to stay healthy this year. But how long is this guy going to be able to keep up the strong play that he's been at? Would you be interested in that Bijan Robinson kid out of Texas? He's that guy right now. He's that guy right now that looks like to be the top guy coming out of the draft. What's going on, Jers? How you doing, bro? Hope you're enjoying your Friday overall and you're staying warm. Let me see. ZK took too much pounding. Pause. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. They relied so much on that running game over there for the Dallas Cowboys. That kid, Ezekiel Elliott, he just got worn down because they didn't really have a passing game when Ezekiel Elliott first came into the league until they got CeeDee Lamb, until they drafted Michael Gallup. They traded eventually for Amari Cooper from the Raiders. That's when they had a passing game going. They had Jason Witten towards the latter end of his career. Then you have Dalton Schultz, who they drafted a couple of years ago. So they pretty much, have been relying a lot on Ezekiel Elliott in terms of his running ability. He just got worn down. He's a 28-year-old worn-down running back who's more of a second-down guy than he is a first-down running back. Bijan Robinson, I think that kid is electric. Any team that gets Bijan Robinson, you're in for a treat. I think that kid has got – a lot of people are talking about Robinson as being the next great running back coming out of the NFL. I mean, you hear it all the time. This guy's like the next coming generational talent. This is a can't miss, blah, 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 blah. You hear it all the time about all these guys, and then they either end up not being what you expect them to be or they end up, unfortunately, getting hurt, and they don't live up to their expectations. I'm so tired of hearing generational talents. I mean, you hear it all the time with all these guys. The last great generational talent was Andrew Luck, and the Colts were so stupid that they wasted that kid's ability and that kid's potential because if Andrew Luck actually had an offensive line, that kid was on his way to a Hall of Fame career. And even with the garbage offensive line that they had over there with the Colts, he was still leading that team to playoff appearance after playoff appearance after playoff appearance every single year. It's just the Colts didn't know what the hell they were doing, and now they are paying for it because ever since Andrew Luck retired, the Colts have been going through veteran quarterback after veteran quarterback every single year, and they have gone nowhere with a top-ranked offensive line. Still nothing because you don't have the quarterback. You're not winning in this league if you don't have a competent quarterback behind center. No disrespect to Matt Ryan. He was terrific back in his day. Should have won a Super Bowl if Kyle Shanahan knew how to run the football a couple of years ago. No disrespect to Phillip Rivers, another good quarterback, but he's not anywhere near what he was back in San Diego. And then obviously Carson Wentz, the dude doesn't even know where his head is from his ass. Obviously showing what he did in Washington over there too. I mean, the dude is not as good as a lot of people thought he was. He got beat up by Taylor Heinicke. He got beat up by Sam Howell, a third-round quarterback. They had to start for them. So, Indianapolis, you reap what you sow, my friends. I'm sorry. You had a great quarterback. You didn't take advantage of it. You didn't build around this kid. You didn't give him an offensive line. You let him get his ass kicked back there, and now you're reaping the benefit. Now you're reaping and sowing from what happened to you in the past. So, sorry. Let's see what you're going to do this offseason. Maybe you'll be smart and actually draft a quarterback this offseason. Let's be honest. Good running backs can be found. It's all about how you use them in the offense. Yes, running backs are very system-oriented. That's the thing when it comes to a running back in every season. It's all dependent on how they fit into your system. Running backs are a dime a dozen. You can have a running back by committee. That's what Buffalo had. Now, most might say that maybe that's not the way to go because maybe they decide that they might want to have a featured running back. And I could see actually Buffalo this offseason looking for maybe a prominent running back in the free agent period. But you can go running back by committee. Cleveland did that with Nick Chubb, as well as they did it with Kareem Hunt. You could go by a top-tier running back like Derrick Henry over there in Tennessee. You know how good Derrick Henry is. Have to wonder, though, how much longer he's going to be able to go at a top rate. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen overall. But I mean, if you're looking for a running back that can pass block or block blitz, yeah. Running backs is not just about running the football and catching passes out of the backfield or the middle of the football field. One of the most important things about being a running back, too, is you got to know how to be able to pick up the blitz and got to be able to know how to run block to spring other playmakers on the outside. If you want to have dual running backs in the backfield, if you have a wide receiver screen, you have your running back go out there and be able to pick up the run blitz on the outside, and obviously picking up the blitz. When you have a pass rusher coming from the outside, then he's going to be coming out and he's going to be pretty much sending a pass rush and try to see if they can come after your quarterback. You have to have a running back that can be able to go out there and pick up the blitz good enough to be able to contain the outside blitz and be able to give your quarterback time to scan the field and find the open targets out there on the football field going forward. So, yeah, running back, it's not just about running the football. It's not just about passing the football. Not be able to just receive the football out of the backfield. It's about multiple things right now. So, I agree with that, Jers. It's not just a running back being able to just run the football. It's like a wide receiver. One of the most important things about being a good wide receiver in the NFL, too, you got to know how to block on the outside, especially if you have some of the screen plays or if you're running the football. You have to have wide receivers that know how to run block. They have to be able to run back in a quality way to be able to spring your running back for some big plays on the outside. And that's what the Giants had. Giants actually had some good wide receivers that knew how to block. As much as we all have crapped on Kenny Golladay over the year, and well-deserved for the most part, the guy was paid $72 million to have one touchdown in his Giant career and have 8 catches all season. Didn't even have 100 yards in his career with the Giants. I have to give him credit. The dude was a hell of a run blocker. He would go out there, especially in that game against Minnesota. He pancaked the hell out of that Minnesota cornerback. So I will give him credit. He might not be what he was back in Detroit, but what Kenny Golladay did is he knew how to run block. He knew how to flatten the quarterbacks on the outside and use his 6'4", 200-plus wide receiver frame to be able to open up the lanes for Saquon Barkley or for a guy like Matt Breida, Gary Brightwell, even when Daniel Jones is running with the football, when they do some occasional quarterback sneaks, quarterback rushes on the outside, read options, whatever it is. Kenny Golladay was a good blocking receiver. Same thing with Sterling Shepard before he got hurt. He was another good blocking wide receiver. I even thought Isaiah Hodgins did a very good job blocking as well on the outside too. Either way, Brady has $375 million on the back burner. What else does Brady have to prove? I mean, I understand that Brady gets that itch again, and we all know in the NFL, never say never. That's why with Aaron Rodgers, I mean, you hear all the rumors with Aaron Rodgers right now. He could be going to the Jets. That's another one of the rumors you hear over there. Aaron Rodgers, potentially the quarterback of the Jets. I have no idea what the hell's going on with the Jets right now at the quarterback position. Obviously, they hired Nathaniel Hackett as their offensive coordinator after they let their old offensive coordinator, the name's Mike LaFleur. He just recently departed the team, and now he's on his way over to be the offensive coordinator of the Rams over there right behind Sean McVay. But obviously, when you hear about Nathaniel Hackett, you hear the tea leaves potentially about a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who has pretty much said it sounds like he's going to be going with a divorce over there. Maybe they're going to go with Jordan Love over there in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers could be on his way with the Jets, just transitioning over to the Jets right now because, I mean, the Jets are one of those football teams, I believe, if they can just get themselves a competent quarterback on that team, the Jets can be a top team in the AFC. Their defense overall is very good. I love their secondary. Sauce Gardner, to me, is the rookie of the year defensively. I would argue Garrett Wilson is the rookie of the year offensively. I love that kid when he came out of Ohio State. I thought he was a top-flight wide receiver, and that's exactly what he was for the team this year. He came out and he was electric. I think he's got to work on his attitude a little bit. You can't show up your quarterback sometimes when you don't get the ball. I hate it when wide receivers do that. It drives me nuts when I see players do that. But a lot of them do that, when they're not getting the ball. We know wide receivers are the diva position in the NFL. I mean, the Jets have talent all over the place. First thing they got to figure out is what are you going to do with the quarterback? Is Zach Wilson the answer? To me, he isn't. But I think they might give him another chance. have the kid learn under a veteran quarterback like a Jimmy Garoppolo, like an Aaron Rodgers. You have to wait and see what's going to happen going forward. Also, Quinnen Williams, I think that guy deserves to get locked up to a long-term deal. I talk about Dexter Lawrence having a very dominant year at the defensive tackle position. What about a guy like Quinnen Williams and the job he did this past season? He was absolutely incredible for the Jets this year. Just looking up his stats right now, just double-checking how he did. I believe he had 12 sacks for defensive tackle. Quinnen Williams had 12 sacks at the defensive tackle position. That is incredible. 55 total tackles, 35 solo, 20 assisted, 12 sacks. He had 4 passes defended overall. He had multiple tackles for loss, too. I think he had around like 10 or 12. The dude was absolutely unbelievable at the defensive tackle position, and he's another guy that absolutely deserves to get paid top-flight money from the Jets. It's just that the Jets going to be willing to open up the wallet and give him top-ranked defensive tackle money, like an Aaron Donald, like a Chris Jones, like a Kenny Clark, DJ Jones, I believe, over there in Denver. I think he's getting paid a decent amount of money. Leonard Williams, obviously Leonard Williams didn't have the top of year that we were looking for from the Giants. He got injured a lot. He's another guy to look for if he got paid top-flight money. So there's a lot of things right now in terms of the Jets. Obviously, I think they need to work on their linebacker position. I definitely think they need to work on their offensive line. My God, was the Jets' offensive line overrated. I thought they'd be a lot better than they were this year. Their tackle position was an mitigated disaster. They had guys falling left and right. Mekhi Becton, I think it's time we might soon call this kid a bust. 3 straight years he's been hurt. He got hurt pretty much in preseason. He was overweight. He's obviously come back now apparently in shape, but you can't really count on him going into the next season. I think the Jets need to prioritize a tackle in this next upcoming draft. That's got to be their top guy right now, is they need to prioritize a tackle right now in the offseason. George Fant is a free agent. Dwayne Brown is a free agent. I don't think either one of those guys are the answer. Max Mitchell, who they drafted, I believe, in the 3rd round, I think out of Kentucky. I think he's a decent guy you could plug in there, maybe try to develop him at the right tackle position. If they decide to give Becton a chance, throw him at right tackle. Get yourself a left tackle that can come in here and be a dominant guy and help out your quarterback. I am over this Brady shit. So are we all. We all are. Brady, you got a great career. Go off into the sunset. Enjoy the nice Jacksonville, Florida weather, and just enjoy it. Have a good retirement. We gotta see if Luka plays tomorrow. Oh, you talking about Luka Doncic? Yeah, he got hurt yesterday. I believe he had a heel injury. He had a heel injury, so he's going to be out right now. I don't know how long, so hopefully Luka is going to be okay. That was pretty bad, unfortunately, to hear. You don't want to ever hear about some of the top players getting hurt. No more Brady. Just retire and enjoy life and make money. He has nothing to prove. Sometimes it's hard to tell players that. It's like a wrestler. Wrestlers are another thing. They don't like retiring. You get the itch to come back, just like with sports. You get that itch that just comes back to you, and you just want to get back out there and just show that you can get it done. Brady might have that. He just might be a guy that doesn't want to retire because he keeps getting that itch to go out there and play. So I think Brady should retire. He's got nothing else left to prove, but it's on him. He might decide one day, I want to go over to San Francisco, or I might want to play with the Cowboys or something. I don't know. If Cowboys decide to move on from Dak, which I don't know how they can. His status is to be determined with a heel contusion. How many games do you guys have until the trade deadline? Just curious, Arku. I mean, how many games until the trade deadline are Dallas playing? I know the Nets have at least 3 games. We play against Washington on Saturday. Then we play against Los Angeles Clippers on Monday. And then we play against the Phoenix Suns on Tuesday, which actually was just flexed to TNT. So the Nets have at least 3 more games to go before they get to the NBA trade deadline on Thursday. So it's a minor injury. Okay. Brady loves his job. Yes, he does. Shout out to the 12 in the live chat. Appreciate you guys being here. Hit that like button if you have not already. And sub up to NYG Jeffy T85 as well as the Hardcore Sports Network and Let's Talk Sports. Appreciate you guys being here to the live stream. And you guys have any other questions you want to throw out there? I'll be happy to answer them for you. Football, basketball, baseball. It's mostly a football stream, but if you guys want to talk anything else, I'm more than happy to answer them for you. Tomorrow against the Warriors in Cali, Monday in Utah, Wednesday against the Clippers in LA. Well, those are all very winnable games, but I mean, I could see them resting. I could see them resting Luka on Saturday, and then maybe seeing how we see his status on Monday against Utah. I mean, it all really depends to see how he feels overall. 5 more likes to 10. We got 12 in the live stream and only 5 likes. Come on, guys, you can do better than that. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit that like button and sub up to NYG JeffPT 85. It helps out the channel. It helps out the live stream. It helps out the content. So come on, guys, hit that like button, please. Mavs are on a 5-game road trip. Is it a West Coast trip? Is it just a road trip in general? Like, what kind of road trip is it exactly, Arku? By the way, how's the Thunder doing? How's the Thunder? Just curious. I know you're still stinging after that loss they had to the Houston Rockets a couple of nights ago. But then again, it is the NBA. I'm still stinging after the Nets got their absolute asses kicked by the Boston Celtics, and I'm so sick and tired of losing to the Celtics. I really am. Every single time I see that goddamn green and white jersey, every time we play them, I get nuts because it's like they every time they look at us, they know it's an easy victory for them because we just can't play against that team. I mean, 43 points. I know we didn't have Ben Simmons. I know we didn't have Kevin Durant. I know we didn't have T.J. Warren. But, I mean, come on. 43 points. You're better than that, guys. Boston shot the lights out, but, I mean, that's just ridiculous. You guys got blown out that bad. Everybody has bad games, but it's like it seems to be like a consistent thing against the Brooklyn Nets. Let's go out there and kick their ass every single night. I'm so tired of losing to Boston. What's going on? Thunder have a chance to bounce back tomorrow night against Houston. Yeah, you'll probably beat them on a back-to-back. I think you will. I think you guys will beat them. Kawhi should not rest so much. They could have won last night against the Bucks. Kawhi needs more minutes. Well, Kawhi gets hurt a lot, so they're probably just managing his minutes to get him ready for the playoffs. That's probably why he's not playing as much. Michael Vasquez, what's going on, bro? Cool. What's cool? You said cool, but what's cool? But thank you so much for coming by the live stream. I'm curious to know why you're saying cool. But either way, I think with Kawhi Leonard, I think they're just pretty much managing his minutes to try to keep him healthy. I can understand why they're doing it. Kawhi's a fragile player. He gets hurt all the time. So I think the best thing for them to do is just keep him as healthy as you can. Don't rush him. Let him get his minutes overall. Then you just get ready for, get closer to the postseason. Obviously, a lot can change from now until Thursday when we get to the NBA trade deadline, which I will be covering myself, my guys Mitch Kofsky and Next Shift Randy. We will be covering the NBA trade deadline on Thursday starting at 10 a.m. We will be giving you wall-to-wall NBA trade rumors, NBA trades that are happening, everything going around the NBA for literally, we're going to be doing it for about like 4, 5, 6 hours. So we're going to be recapping everything around that. And then I'll be doing a Nets game later on. I believe they're playing the Chicago Bulls on TNT. So you're going to be getting a lot of me on Thursday for the NBA trade deadline, as well as you're going the Nets game on Thursday. So just be on the lookout for that. I will be doing another game this Saturday with Mitch. The two of us are going to be doing the Dallas Mavericks taking on the Golden State Warriors at 8:30. The game will be on ABC, so I will be doing that live stream play-by-play and reactions with Mitch on Saturday night. I don't think I'm going to be doing any live streams on Sunday. I might put up something. You never know. I could be introducing something you guys aren't expecting on Sunday. Obviously, I'm not going to be covering the Pro Bowl. I mean, why the hell would I cover the Pro Bowl? It's a glorified scrimmage. But you never know. Maybe I will throw something out there. And be on the lookout. Going to be doing some baseball, too. Because I've been wanting to do some baseball games for the Mets and other things. So I've just dropped a video yesterday on a little bit of early spring training baseball preview for the New York Mets. So just be on the lookout for that. Just talking all things New York Mets and getting ready for the season. That's going to be happening on March 30th. Blame Zaza Pachulia. Does he still play? Zaza Pachulia? God, that guy feels like he's been in the NBA for 20 years. That's going to be a great game. Yes, it is. Well, if Luka is going to be playing, it's going to be a very good game. But if Luka is going to be out, it's going to probably hurt, the overall feel of that game. I think Golden State will be able to handle business if Luka is going to be held out of that game, which I wouldn't be surprised it is. The Pro Bowl is crazy. I heard they're doing dodgeball. Really? I mean, the Pro Bowl has now come down to dodgeball. That's what we have now. We turned Pro Bowl. It's become that uninteresting that we turned into dodgeball. Yeah, exactly. Flag football. I mean, come on. Come on. I mean, if you're going to turn it into flag football, dodgeball, any of this BS, why even play the game? Just announce people that are part of the Pro Bowl and just move on already. AK, what's going on, bro? How you doing? I know you're in a very good mood, obviously, because of your Eagles in the Super Bowl. Makes me sick, but congratulations to you guys. You guys deserve it. You're a hell of a team. You guys have had a hell of a season. Now go out there and handle your business next Sunday against Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes. But yeah, I mean, the Pro Bowl, it's a goddamn joke. I mean, it's so ridiculous. Out of all the All-Star games, just to go on a little bit of a rant here, the All-Star games, I mean, I like the baseball All-Star game that they were doing a couple of years ago, with the fact that at least it had some importance that if you won the All-Star game, you win home field advantage for your team in the World Series. But I mean, hockey, it's just like, it's a glorified, at least hockey, you have to go on the ice and you actually have to go out there and skate. I mean, it's not exactly, you can't pretend to be a good hockey player out there when you're skating on the field, on the rink. So, I mean, hockey, at least you have to show somewhat of skill, and you can't lollygag the entire time. But basketball, it's like a glorified alley-oop, dunk contest, whatever you want to call it. And in football, it's like tag. Tag, you're it. It's ridiculous. I'm going to back your boys. Hey, Budfly's 100% supporting the Eagles in the Super Bowl. We will, dog. We don't need anything. We take it. Fly, Eagles, fly. Yeah. I think you guys – I'm actually thinking you guys are going to win the Super Bowl. I really do. I don't know why. I just have this weird feeling that it's Philadelphia's year. I think because of the fact you guys are so strong in the trenches. And what do you need to have in the NFL? Trenches. You need to have depth on the offensive line. You need to be strong on the defensive line, especially have good rotation on your defensive line. Look at the Eagles' defensive line. I mean, Jesus Christ, you have guys coming out all over the place. No wonder they had 70-plus sacks this year in the regular season. I mean, you have Brandon Graham, who came back from an Achilles tendon injury, and he had 10-plus sacks this past season. You had Josh Sweat, who was unbelievable this year. He had over 10 sacks. Eagles probably glad they signed him to a contract extension. You had Hassan Reddick, who was one of the league leaders this year in sacks. I believe he had 16 or 17 this season. Javon Hargrave, not good against the run. Phenomenal against, as a pass rusher, over 10 sacks. Fletcher Cox almost had 10 sacks this year. You have Milton Williams in the middle. Jordan Davis is a big-time run stuffer. You have Linval Joseph. You got Ndamukong Suh. You got pass rushers coming all over the place with this damn team. Pat isn't ready, bro. We'll have to wait and see. Patrick Mahomes just has some type of aura about him where he goes out there and just makes something out of nothing. So you can't just underrate Patrick Mahomes overall. What's up? What's going on, Chad? Jeff, can't wait for 2025 because my area might have live stream systems soon. Then I can join you and Mitch and everyone else for you guys stream. Hey, I love that, man. You can get a live stream? Absolutely. Is it crazy to say that Josh Sweat is better than Montez Sweat and Chase Young? Right now, I say he is. I think out of the two Sweats, I'd take Josh Sweat over Montez. Now, I mean, well, actually, you can't even make an excuse about it because Montez Sweat has got, he's got Jonathan Allen and he's got Deron Payne and the defensive tackle position. And when he's healthy, Chase Young is very good too. You could obviously say, well, Josh Sweat, he's got Hassan Reddick, he's got Brandon Graham, he's got Fletcher Cox, he's got Javon Hargrave, he's got all these guys on the defensive line. You still have to get to the quarterback and still have to make a play on the defensive side of the football. So, yeah, I would probably say I would take Josh Sweat over those two guys. Montez Sweat, I think, has been good. He just doesn't have the sacks. He doesn't have the amount of sacks and the amount of, numbers right now and stats that Josh Sweat has right now with Philadelphia. And Chase Young has pretty much not played in 2 years. Chase Young has pretty much been invisible for 2 years overall in the NFL, so I can't put stock in him too. So, yeah, I would probably go with Josh Sweat if I had to pick between the three of them. So, yeah, but also with Philadelphia, like I said, you guys got to win because you guys got a lot of free agents this year in the offseason, so you guys have got to win. And look who's joining me here now on the broadcast. I knew he'd be here soon enough. And that, of course, is the leader of the Hardcore Sports Network, our guy, Mr. Mitch Kovsky. What's going on, Mitch? Of course, you have that
Nothing.
background over
Just thank you.
there.
I was just doing some behind the scenes stuff, like scheduling streams, that kind of stuff. So
Everything all set up? Everything all good to go?
I'm good. Yep.
So what's
Sixers,
going on? How you feeling today?
I'm good. Sixers against Spurs tonight. Should win.
So you're still not salty about the fact that James Harden didn't make the All-Star game, right? You're over it?
I'm kind of over it, yeah, honestly.
Even Joel Embiid?
Embiid, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not the guy that's gonna hold grudges. That's not me.
The only thing that matters is wins and losses, and I'd rather, like I told you last night during the live stream, I'd rather have my team winning, or what's the question? AK, what's your question? And my next question is, you mean Redick or
John Riddick on TJ? What's level? Can you speak? TJ Watt.
I'd still take TJ Watt. TJ Watt's has done it multiple seasons. Redick's had a couple of very good years, but Watt's been an All-Pro for multiple years. I got to see Redick do it for another year or two before I really put him in that TJ Watt type of spectrum. So yeah, I would have to probably go with TJ Watt right now. But Redick, he's had back-to-back great years. One with Carolina, and now he had a great one with Philadelphia. So he's getting up there after he was a lot of people thought he was a failure back in Arizona. I think it's just because he didn't fit the scheme over there with the Cardinals. You have to see right now, he obviously didn't fit the scheming over there with the Cardinals. Goes over to Carolina, has a tremendous year on a one-year deal, and now he's cashed out with the Eagles, and now he's arguably one of the top outside linebackers / defensive ends in football. But Mitch, how are you feeling right now on this football Friday? Obviously, it's about a week and a couple of days from the Super Bowl. What are you thinking right now? I know we have a lot of time still. I know you said your confidence is at an 11, but let's talk a little bit early preview about the Super Bowl.
I'm cool with
What about the Kansas City Chiefs concerns you the most going into this game?
Travis Kelce. The offense goes through him. It doesn't go through Mahomes. It goes through Kelce. So if we can contain him in the middle, then I should be good. Then we'll be good. Because if you go on the outside, hold on. Mitch, I told Jeff last year, 2025. Yeah.
Yeah, Chad told me about that earlier. That's pretty cool if he's able to have that happen. Chad, good luck. Hopefully that can be something that becomes a reality in 2025. But go ahead, Mitch.
So, yeah, Travis Kelce, not the wide receivers, because we got Bradbury and Slay. I'm fine with that. It's just Kelce in the middle. And Mahomes with the high angle sprain. I mean, come on now. It's just Kelce at the end of the day.
Do you trust T.J. Edwards and Kaiser White to be able to handle Travis Kelce in the middle of the field? Because that, I think, is out of your defense. I think that's your weakness overall. I think that's the weakest part of your defense is your inside.
Well,
it's like the inside linebacker position.
That worked well against you. But honestly, I feel I'm confident.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misread AK's question. He says, no. I'm asking if Redick's better. I'm just saying they're on the same playing level over the last 5 years. They have identical sacks. Just Redick is 1 year behind him. Watt has at least 20. Has 20
so he's riding Watt's coattails right now.
Yeah,
I'm fine
pretty
with that.
much. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, they're both terrific outside linebackers / defensive ends. I mean, you can't go wrong with either one of them. They're both great.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you this. Last year during the whole NBA season, Knicks fans were DMing me every single day because I said that they were worse than a playing team.
What the hell do Knicks fans have to talk about? The Knicks have been one of the biggest embarrassments in professional sports for the past 20-plus years. Right. They've had, 2 playoff appearances, 2 games in over 20 years.
Yeah.
New York City, and that's how you represent your city. Their owner is a joke. I mean, James Dolan is too busy trying to make out these bogus rules over there in Madison Square Garden instead of actually trying to help field a competent team. They're going through general managers left and right. They haven't had a
You don't
true
like Leon? I
superstar.
like Leon.
No, I think Leon Rose reminds me too much of what Brody Van Wagenen was for the Mets. An agent turned into a general manager, and we know how that turned out. I will say this,
The only
Brody,
reason
thank
I'm
you for
saying that
Edwin
because I
Diaz.
grew
I
up
will
with
say
this
that.
daughter. That's like the only reason. They grew up in my neighborhood. That's like the only reason.
No, I know that, but I mean, I'm just going by football. I mean, basketball
If
acumen.
you go by pure basketball and what he has done, the best player is Jalen Brunson. I mean, come on now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. Brunson's a terrific player. He's the best player on the team, which is kind of funny. I mean,
It's kind of funny. And is he overpaid? You think?
no,
Is that,
I don't think he is. I don't think he is
really?
overpaid at
Because I
all.
think
No,
he
I don't
is
think
a little
Jalen
bit.
Brunson's overpaid. Absolutely not. Brunson's a 20-point scorer, and he's got like what, 6-7 assists?
Something like that. Something like that. Well, on Sunday the Sixers are against the Knicks, so in Madison Square Garden, and then we're against them again next Friday at Wells Fargo.
Well,
And
the
I
Knicks
might
are a
be
good
going.
team. The Knicks are a good team. Those were the days, Jeff. Yeah. Those were day. Oh,
Those were
those
the
were
day
day games,
games.
Jeff. Yeah, yeah. You know what? Try to play him again next time if you play him again at night and see what happens. Hey, Jeff, what has two indents and smells like ass? I don't know. That's a good question. What is it, AK?
Oh God.
Oh,
Hey,
I see. Good one.
Hey, AK, you still need to text me a title so I can set up your stream.
You know what? The couch is actually very nice too and comfy. I'm enjoying
Hey,
it.
hey.
Get
I'm on
ready
a
for
chair.
2023.
I'm not on a couch. I'm on a chair.
I'm on a stool. So I mean, I'm not on a couch or a chair. I'm on a stool. Yeah. Not that you sick bastard. Patrick Ewing put the juju on the Knicks. Yeah, he probably did when
Yeah,
the Knicks
he did.
decided to
And
trade
they
him to
rigged.
Seattle.
Do you think they actually rigged that draft because of Patrick Ewing to the Knicks?
It's unbelievable since Patrick Ewing got traded from the Knicks to the Sonics. That's like that team has just gone absolutely downhill over
It's
like
just
the last 20 plus
downhill, right?
years. Yeah, it's literally been downhill for that team for the past 20 plus years. AK can't wait to get live stream in my area. Plus, I might be a little tipsy when oh Jesus Christ. You're gonna drink some of that moonshine, Chad? Just be careful, my brother. Be careful. Don't get too crazy with that moonshine. That stuff is strong.
I just got
The
this
NBA
comment on
All-Stars
my short.
popularity. They
You
need
gotta read
to
it.
go
It's
by
really short.
stats plays during the season. Wait, what's the NBA All-Stars popularity? They need to go by stats and play during the season. Well, it's the NFL too. Every All-Star
It's
game
every
is just
sport.
popularity.
It's
Every
really
All-Star game is
Let's think about it.
popularity.
It's every sport.
Yeah, it's always popularity with everything. That's why you see people. That's why Huntley from the Ravens got selected to the Pro Bowl. Tyler Huntley from the Ravens, who played half a season, had 2 touchdowns on the season, got selected from the Pro Bowl. If that doesn't tell you what people think of the Pro Bowl, I don't know what will. That just shows what a joke the Pro Bowl is.
I gotta read you this comment I got on my short.
LOL, Chad, welcome to come on anytime. Open mic, bro. It's all ours. Yeah? Well, I can't say anything. We're out of the playoffs, so I can't say anything. It's Friday, bitches. Let's fucking go. You're right.
Yeah. So I gotta read you this. It's so stupid.
Shoot.
I put like a clip of Jalen Hurts saying the season's not over.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes, we all know it's scripted. He was asked who was going to win the NFC title game. He said, I'm not going to say. Catch me after the game with a smirk. That's a shame. They took something away from quarterbacks of color by scripting it.
Who's the idiot that said that?
Huh?
Who said that?
Presley Johns, a guy with no profile picture?
Oh, well, there you go. I love when you have those people that don't have a profile picture that have to say these types of comments. If you're at least going to say something like that, show your face. Show your face.
These are the comments I get.
Well, you know what's going to happen. Mitch, you know what's going to happen when you post stuff on social media. You know people, and you're going to get trolls and stuff. They're going to be coming out of the woodworks. They're going to be saying stuff like this. I mean, how can you criticize Jalen Hurts after the season he had this year? Even if you don't like him. For some reason, you don't like him. The dude is a great quarterback. Well, I wouldn't say great. He's very good. He's turning into a great quarterback. He had a great season this year. So I don't get it. I don't get people that are going to slander Jalen Hurts. I mean, the dude had an incredible year. He took his team to the Super Bowl. Obviously, he's an Eagle, so I mean, I hope just being honest, I hope he fails. But I mean, that's just the Giants fan in me, obviously. But either way, he's been unbelievable this year. It's idiotic to say anything like, otherwise. You can't criticize the guy when he's been this good for the team this year.
Can't. Shout out to the 15 in the chat, though.
Yes, thank you guys. 15 in the chat watching. I appreciate all you guys coming here for this Football Friday show. 16 now. Thank you all for coming by the live stream. I appreciate you guys coming here. Please hit that like button. Guys, hit that like button. It helps out the live stream. It helps out the content. It helps get the stream even higher to a bigger degree. So thank you guys all for coming by this Friday live stream. Thinking about maybe around 2, maybe 3 hours, depending on the time. We'll have to wait and see. So I mean, just keeping you guys.
I just stayed for the whole time.
Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe going 2 or 3 hours, just depending.
7:45 tonight. That's when the Sixers play the Spurs.
Just wait, Thunder Grizzlies tomorrow. Just wait, Thunder versus Grizzlies future playoff series going to be lit. Yeah, well, I mean,
you just gotta wait with the Grizzlies because let's say, hypothetically speaking, something happened to like a Dylan Brooks or something like that. Someone's got to step up, and no one did last night. So, everyone's got to step up. Teddy Osman, Evan Mobley, all these guys stepped up. Jared Allen to a degree. Darius Garland with a 30-point double-double. I mean, guys got to step up. No one did for the Grizzlies except for Ja Morant.
Well, it's also because Cleveland shot the lights out from the basketball behind the arc. They really got it going in the third and fourth quarter. So, I mean, they started pulling away.
As soon as that fight happened with Dylan Brooks and Donovan Mitchell, Grizzlies was nowhere to be found.
So it happens sometimes when you take away the heart and soul of a team's basketball squad. It ends up like,
I didn't even think it would be Dylan Brooks.
And it's like it seems like Cleveland didn't even miss a beat. After Donovan Mitchell got ejected from the game last night, they just kept going. Like nothing. It was like clockwork. You had other these guys, like you said, Cedi Osman stepped up. Isaac Okoro stepped up. You had obviously, Garland and Mobley, who had a huge game. Jared Allen had a very good game last night. These other guys just picked it up for them going into the game.
When you talk about the Grizzlies, Jaren Jackson Jr. was not playing. So
what's up, NYG? How you
doing,
doing,
what up, man? What's up?
Thank you for coming by the live stream. This is going to be a rivalry. Yes, it is.
It will.
Yes, it is.
It will. It will.
Thunder just got to keep what the Thunder need to keep doing is they need to just keep getting more assets on their team. And maybe you never know. They might try to use some of those young players they have on the team and eventually, trade for a top flight player. They could trade for a superstar in the future. We don't know yet. But, I mean, I could easily see something like that happening in the future where they decide to trade for a top flight player.
Hey, Jeff, are you streaming Raw Monday?
I think so. Why?
Because I asked my community tab, what should I stream? The Nets versus the Clippers or Monday Night Raw? So far, Monday Night Raw is winning.
Well, I mean,
Raw
it's because it's WrestleMania season. That's why. A lot of people might decide, it might be a good thing to draw.
But the Clippers and Nets, that would be. Oh wait, KD's not playing, right?
No, KD's out.
Damn, that's why I forgot.
KD's out, and I don't even know if Ben Simmons is going to play too. He just had.
I forgot about that, so it's like no point then.
He had an MRI on his knee recently, so I don't know if he's going to be available or anything.
Looks like it might be something wrong with you because.
Yep. Yeah, I gotta wait and see if what the MRI. I know for a fact it sounds like that Simmons and Warren might not play tomorrow. They still might be questionable, so we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen.
What happened to Warren?
If you're still on, I'm going to be here for longer than 35 minutes. Jay, you can hop on if you want, Randy.
Yep, Randy, pop on in.
Warren suffered a shin contusion a couple of games ago. So he's been out the past couple of games. And then Simmons had to get an MRI on his left knee.
Injured.
I'll take a shin contusion. He hasn't been playing well the past couple of games. He was on fire for a good stretch of games, like about 10, 15 games in a row, and then he's really tailed off the last few. So, I mean, maybe this is the best thing for TJ Warren. Maybe he's been battling an injury a little bit. Maybe his conditioning is not quite where it was. He was just probably playing on adrenaline or something. So he's really tailed off a little bit for the Nets recently. So what?
Kyrie Irving requested a trade.
Stop it.
Sam's.
Are you lying to me? Or are you being serious?
No, someone posted in my Painted Lines group chat. Why would I be lying?
I don't know. Are you serious?
What the fuck?
Wait, I gotta look up Shams.
I got you.
Please don't tell me this is the truth. Oh God, no, here we go again. Let me see. Shams Saranya. Where's his last Twitter? I don't see anything.
I'm on his tweet right now.
No, I don't think he's capping. I don't know if he's capping on this one. Let's see. I'm going on Twitter right now to look. This is going to make me happy. Let's see. Yeah, no, he's right. He's right. Breaking. Brooklyn Nets All-Star Kyrie Irving has requested a trade. League sources tell The Athletic. The franchise has been informed that Irving prefers to move on ahead of the February 9 trade deadline or leave in free agency in July. Holy God damn it. Are you freaking serious?
I'm sorry, Jeff. I was shocked. Someone sent it to me in the group chat.
Somebody send the link to NYG. Get on the live stream right now. We got to talk about this. This is a football show, but now it's going to probably become a basketball show because Kyrie Irving has decided to request a goddamn
That's
trade.
my favorite sport. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Hey, what's up, Raphael? What is up, man? Can't wait for your announcement, man. I really can't wait.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. It's on Shams' Twitter. This is legit.
Kickers, basketball.
I hate you, Mitch. I seriously hate you.
It's not my fault. I didn't know. I got sent it.
I honestly don't even know what to say right now. Like, I don't even know.
Why would you be mad at me?
I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. This is like deja vu going all over again. Oh my God. Here, give me a second. I'm gonna be right back.
Are you making it short? He's making it short. Well, hey. Give me any questions, any basketball, football, whatever you want. Wrestling. Nets or link, please. All right. Do you want me to put it in your Twitter or the chat? It's up to you. Shout out to the 18 in here. Do you want it in your Twitter or in your chat? Or in the chat? Let me know. You know what? Screw it. It's up to you. If you want it in the chat, I'll put it in the chat. If you want it in your DMs, I'll give it to you in your DMs.
All right, I'm going to send the link. I had to change my net stuff because this has become a basketball stream all of a sudden because of the fact that Kyrie Irving just decided to request a trade. Unfreaking believable. Unfreaking believable.
All right, he's going to send you the link. I was going to, but he popped back. Why did this happen today and not Wednesday during the pick and roll?
Oh, yeah, that's what I need for it to happen on Wednesday of all times.
Yeah, that'll be great. We could have.
It's in the big blue. It's in the big blue crew chat, NYG. I'm just gonna relocate my thing. Give me a second, Mitch.
Relocate.
Give me 1 second.
Gotcha. That's it. What? Yep. I just got it on ESPN. Knicks are, the Knicks are worse. Hey, I'm shocked. I'm not really shocked. Hey, what's good, bro?
Yo, y'all there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, yeah, I'm here, and I'm in a very happy mood right now because it seems like our basketball team is about to be dismantled.
Yeah, just because he requests a trade, don't mean he's gonna get it.
It's not
So,
gonna
I
happen.
mean,
I don't.
I don't think it's gonna happen either. First of all, you gotta have a trade partner.
Yeah, who's gonna
And
want Kyrie?
You'd be
and if I'm
surprised.
yeah, that's cool. If I'm the Nets, yo, you giving me the bag for Kyrie, cause he's balling right now. So who you want? Who you want, Jeff? You want Devin Booker? Who you want? Pick a player.
I'll take
Cause
him.
I'm going.
I'll take him.
Cause if he wants out, yeah, you giving me somebody. I ain't
Oh,
giving
I
him up
want
for
it. Yeah, I want a
peanuts
bag.
and
I
draft
want a
picks.
bag.
Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, you know
Why
what I'm
would
saying?
you want a bag?
I don't care who it is. I don't want to have a player on my team that is disgruntled because we went through that garbage last year with James Harden. I don't want to have it another year in a row with another guy. And you know what? Is Durant? Durant's probably going to be next. Durant's probably going to hear this, and he's probably going to try to request a trade too.
But why? They're
I don't
third in the
know.
East.
I don't
I mean, what
know.
the fuck?
I really don't get it. Maybe it's because maybe because of the
Fourth,
fact that
whatever.
the team.
Same thing.
It's because of the fact that what's going on right now with this team, and the fact that maybe they're just very hesitant on giving him an extension, and then maybe he just doesn't want to.
I know. Look, I know the Boston game was bad. You know what I'm saying? But look here, man. We all knew there was a gap between us and Boston. So I mean, that's what we've been talking about is building this team and getting some of the players that we want to get rid of in order to get the guys we want. Now, this could mean a couple things. They could have their eye on somebody that they really want to trade for. It could mean that they want to get Cam Thomas or some of these younger players more involved. Or it could mean that the KD, Kyrie shit just ain't working out, and they got some kind of animosity between each other. So there's several different things that I'm thinking about right now, but
could it be about Ben Simmons, you think?
Yeah, well, we all know with Ben Simmons, we all know Ben Simmons is the problem. The problem is you can't trade him. Now, maybe there's that
Thanks, Arco.
What? Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking that maybe it's because they got something lined up for Ben Simmons and they want to get rid of Kyrie because Kyrie knows about it. I don't know, but this is wild because like
Where's Breezy? Where is he?
Man, let me DM.
Like
Let me
I don't get it. You're third in the East. Why all of a sudden right now are you just out of blue saying I don't want to be here anymore? When he was just talking a couple of days ago about how he was thinking about maybe want to be here extended. He wanted to be extended by the team at the end of the season. Then out of the blue he says I want to be traded.
Wait,
all of a sudden changed his mind. Yeah, they were talking. They were maybe talking about him being extended after the season.
Wow.
Yeah, he is. My father's right up. My father's in another room, and he just said, "Yeah, he's a loony." So, I can't.
Yeah, that word got me. Loony.
See,
I wouldn't call him a loony. I think what it is
he's out there sometimes with some of the things he does. He really is.
But I think what it is, man, is a lot of us are, man. I think what it is, like, I'm not going to judge the man's character. I think from a basketball standpoint, though, it's not fitting because, some of these guys are chasing rings, so I don't know if that's something that he's looking at. I mean, because if you go to the Lakers, that's the rumor, you ain't getting no ring there. So, I mean, I don't.
Does that mean Westbrook is getting traded to you?
Oh,
we're not taking Westbrook.
Yeah, no, we're not taking Westbrook, and there's nobody on that team worth acquiring in terms of young assets. No.
At all.
No. Forget
when
that.
When it comes to the trade deadline, I can see Westbrook being moved. Not to you guys, but I can see him definitely being moved.
Well, there's a rumor that came out, I think, this morning about him potentially being moved to Utah.
I heard the Kings. Wait,
no, it was Utah. It was the Utah Jazz.
It was Utah, and there was another team, too.
A normal guy.
I know this
is a football stream, but you know what? I'm not talking football right now. It's Kyrie Irving all day and all day. It's Kyrie Irving news. So I'm sorry. You want football talk right now? I'm
This
talking
is-
basketball. This is ridiculous. Now you know why I get so frustrated by this organization. You know why because of this. Did you not think as a Nets fan that it was just a matter of time until something like this happened? You have to be honest, NYG. Did you not think it was a matter of time until something like this would happen? This is just what this team does. When you have malcontents on them, they're like, they just go off when you least expect
But they're a
it.
good team, though. They're a good team. They're not a bad team. I mean, I know I was one
It's the
to go in on the
personalities,
Nets.
though.
I was there. I was negative. I went in. I was, hard on this team. Pause. But they're a good team. They're not a bad team. I know that Boston, it sticks to you. It's like the Giants with Philadelphia. It sticks to you. It pisses you off because you're just not better than them, and they rub it in your face. You know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter,
how can I not laugh to that?
the fact of the matter is your time is coming. Don't worry, Mitchy Mitch. But the fact of the matter is that this Brooklyn Nets team, they know they're not better than the Boston Celtics right now, man. And that was a comeback to earth moment. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it hurts, man, but you got to keep moving. You can't just dismantle the team right now.
No one
unless you're trading Kyrie, unless you have a blockbuster trade on the table. I'm talking about some Devin Booker, Ja Morant, like I'm talking like a blockbuster deal. I don't see the reason for trading Kyrie. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I mean,
because I'm not trading him for peanuts. This dude is a future Hall of Famer. I'm not giving him up for scraps and picks. No.
Yeah, but would you be willing to hold on to him and then him walk at the end of the season and you get nothing for him? Because he essentially says he's not coming back. He's going to walk at the end of the season.
If he's not bought into the team, yeah, but now that makes your team desperate, Jeffy, because people know you want to get rid of him. So now they're going to give you the lowest offer. You see what I'm saying? They're going to give you the lowest possible offer because they know Joe Tsai and them need to come out right now and say, we're not trading Kyrie. Yeah. This is chess. Because if you allow teams to think that you're desperate to get rid of a guy just because you want to get rid of him because you're scared to lose him in the offseason, you're losing your leverage. You're giving up your leverage.
No one's gonna want him.
Right. Yeah. Nobody's gonna want him at that point. So you gotta boost him up. So you gotta come out and say, look, we're not trading Kyrie. And let Kyrie's camp back off. And then you can explore some things when Kevin Durant comes back.
It's mind games. That's basically what it is. Kyrie's playing mind games with the Brooklyn Nets. We've seen it done before.
They've all been doing it. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Ben Simmons, they've all been playing mind games with them.
Oh, yeah.
You can easily manipulate this.
I know about Ben Simmons' mind games. I know that. We won that.
I mean, this is just another layer. No, he's not going to the Knicks. Give it up, Almighty. No. You're going to have to gut your entire team if you want him to come to the Knicks.
Yeah, you know what? Hold up. Trade him to the Knicks. Give me RJ Barrett. No. I don't want RJ Barrett. Give me
Quentin Grimes.
Give me Grimes and give me.
You're gonna need Brunson in that deal.
I want a big man. Give me Mitch Robinson or Toppin. Give me Toppin.
Give me Toppin. I want Robinson. He gets hurt too much.
Right.
So
exactly.
Grimes,
give me Grimes and Toppin and about 3 picks.
Yeah.
And we good money.
That'll work.
No, we get money.
Absolutely take that.
Because we get a shooter, we can put
Simmons or we don't need any more shooters. We need defenders. We need
Grimes
players.
gives you that. He gives you both. You know what I'm saying? And you'll probably dump either Harris or I'd say Patty Mills. One of them's got to go to make room for Grimes.
You're right,
about
bro.
Dumping Curry. He's a free agent after this year. Maybe you get something.
I like Curry though. Curry can put up points.
But you're keeping him after the season though, because he could be gone after this year too.
Yeah, we're not keeping him after the season.
So you might as well, if you're not planning on keeping him, I'd rather maybe try to get something with him, get something for him, and let him just walk.
I see that.
That's the fear, and the only reason why I brought it up with Kyrie Irving is because I don't want this dude to just be disgruntled, aggravated person if you don't trade him. He doesn't play well. He sits out. He makes a fuss out of it. And then he just walks at the end of the season. You get nothing for him. And then you have a major void at that position. That's what I don't want. And that's why it's like a very sticky situation how they play this. I love to hear Kevin Durant come out right now and say something. That's who I'd like to hear from right now is Durant. I want to hear Durant. I want to hear what Durant has to say. I do.
I don't think
I don't think Durant needs to talk right now.
Durant doesn't care.
No, he does care because that's the guy you want to hear from because I want to hear how he feels about this.
We don't need Kyrie over here. No.
I don't want James Harden back. Let James
I
Harden
don't want
stay
anybody
over
off the
here.
Sixers. Yeah, I don't want anybody unless you're giving up Embiid.
I'll take Maxey. I like Maxey. He's a good young player.
No. We'll give you Furkan Korkmaz.
Bro, you would be the only organization to have Kyrie Irving on your team. You'd still screw it up.
Oh my God, yeah.
The Knicks are a joke.
Okay, all right, Blaze. Because I know how much you hate Harden, so I was like, I don't know if you were joking or not.
Harden sucks, but yeah. That's the breaking news that just popped on, guys, from Sham. The Brooklyn Nets point guard Kyrie Irving has requested a trade before the NBA trade deadline on Thursday. This is just another day in Nets world. Just gonna say it. It's another day in the happiness of Nets world.
Ty says he's a Laker. How? I see the thing about the Lakers. See, there's no trade there. They already talked about this in the offseason. There's no trade there because why? Because there's nothing the Lakers have. There's no young talent. And there's no picks.
I'm sorry, Blaze down here.
Well, I'll do this. Would you do it as a multi-team trade? Would you trade with the Lakers and maybe another team to try to get assets from another squad? If you're going to trade Kyrie to the Lakers, that's the only way I'm doing it. That's the only way I'm trading him to the Lakers. If you want a multi-team trade.
This is what I want. I'm about to get on some Danny Ainge type shit real quick. I want either a budding superstar or a shit ton of picks. Because remember, we don't got no picks, Jeffy. So we got to if we getting rid of Kyrie, we got to restock our draft picks. So I want either a superstar that I can build with that can rock with KD, and maybe we can get something done in the next couple seasons before KD retires, or I want a bunch of draft picks to start rebuilding this team. And then at that point, you probably got to look at moving Kevin Durant and Ben Simmons because you just rebuilding at that point.
I'm going to send the link to your chat then, Raphael, so you can hop on if you want. But yeah, it's just stunning news right now. I wish it was Ben Simmons. Kevin Durant is, he might be next. You never know. I'm just telling you, he could be next. Kyrie Irving has officially requested a trade from the Brooklyn Nets, and he's informed the team about it. It's just a question of, are the Nets actually going to go through with it, or are they going to, take on his bluff? So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. But yeah, that's just breaking news around the Nets, who are right now 12, third place in the Eastern Conference, potentially a team that looks to be competing for an NBA championship. And then we just had this bombshell dropped on us that one of our superstars wants to get out of here. Maybe he's coming down to the conclusion that we don't have a chance to compete with a Boston or a Cleveland or a Philadelphia or Milwaukee.
That's ridiculous, man. Like, oh my. I mean, I get it. You got your
for KD. That's messed up, Blaze. KD chilling with Cameron, Mason, Jada Kiss. Well, here's the difference too. Kevin Durant already signed an extension with the Nets. Kyrie Irving's a free agent after this year. Kevin Durant has no leverage for a trade. Kyrie Irving does because he's a free agent. So he can request a trade because he get threatened not to come back after the season and just walk. So that's the difference between Durant and Irving. Durant can't go anywhere unless the Nets force to trade him, unless they want to trade him, because he's locked into a long-term deal. So that's the difference right there between Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Irving actually has a little bit of leverage because he is a free agent. So he can force the Nets to trade him away. So it's going to come down to if the Nets are going to, answer his bluff. Are they going to make him bluff or not? I see Kyrie with Chicago. How would he go to Chicago? Plus, there's nobody on that team I want. I don't want DeRozan. He's too old.
Just a dumpster fire.
Yeah, I don't want DeRozan. I don't want Zach LaVine. That kid just seems like he's out there. He's had a lot of issues with the Bulls recently. I don't want Vucevic. He's an older center. We already have Claxton. There's none of those young players I'm really interested in. I like Patrick Williams, but not that much. I like Kobe White, but not really. Huh?
Hold on 1 sec.
Kyrie to the Clippers may work. Yeah, but for who?
What?
Who on the Clippers do you want back? Who do you want the Clippers do the Nets want? Do you want I don't want Ivan Zubac. We have Claxton. I don't want Paul George or Darius or what do you call it? Kawhi Leonard. I don't want either one of those guys. They get hurt too much. I mean, there's nobody on the Clippers I really want, so I wouldn't really want anybody from them. Trade Kyrie for Kawhi. Wow, that would be something. I don't really know if I want Kawhi. I honestly don't know if I want Kawhi.
You don't need no.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
You don't need Kawhi load management.
No.
I want a young player. That's what I want.
Oh, young players. I want players.
Right, exactly, Jeffy. Now you got
multiple.
The idea. I want that, or I want draft picks.
Yes. Now, do you think because Kyrie Irving did request a trade, do you think that it's possible that the Nets might decide, you know what, we're probably not winning it this year, and we're just going to sell off Kevin Durant too and just try to rebuild?
Yeah. And that's what makes me mad about the situation. It's either that or Kevin Durant wants him traded. One of the two.
Who's your second superstar? Who's the other guy on this team?
I guess.
Claxton's not at the level of what Kyrie's playing at right now. That's the problem. The Nets don't have another guy. You could say maybe a Cam Thomas, but I don't know. I don't know.
Nah, you're right. They don't have another guy. That's what makes this frustrating. I'm frustrated too, Jeffy. I'm trying to find answers. I'm searching and I'm looking right now, man. Like, what the hell is going on?
Good luck. Cool. Thank you. Mitch, go ahead 1 quick second. I apologize. Sorry, my father was just heading out. That's why I just had to do that real quick. But Kyrie to the Mavs, confirmed on your wildest dreams that the hell that's going to happen. Give me Luka. You know what? You want Kyrie? I'll have Luka. Thank you. That's the only way I'm getting rid of Kyrie Irving to the Mavs. I want Luka Doncic. Get rid of Uncle Dennis, then Kawhi. He'll be fine.
I don't know.
What's up, Raphael?
Sorry I'm late because I was doing like the launch and the next week is going to be complicated to me, but here I am.
Don't worry about it, bro. Thank you so much for hopping on the live stream, which has turned from a football live stream to a everybody panic. Nets fans are panicking because Kyrie Irving just decided to request a trade out of nowhere stream.
Oh, yes, about the Kyrie Irving thing. Yeah, I know about that because I was watching all the news. Because he was requesting it somehow it's going to be dramatically. Because
I want more news on this. That's what I'm looking for. I want more news. Why he's requesting this trade. I want to know what's his intentions behind requesting this trade. That's what I want to know with this whole situation. Like, why out of the blue, as Kyrie Irving just said, I want to be traded.
Okay, but look, but I was trying about this because Kyrie Irving has requested a trade for the franchise according because he will move to February 9th trade line or he will leave in the free agency. So what are the most obvious destination for Irving is to join up with LeBron and Anthony Davis to the Los Angeles Lakers.
I don't think that's going to work. I
don't think it's going to be work because it's not happening. Kyrie
exactly. It ain't happening, Raphael.
Yeah, it
ain't happening, brother.
theory. Kyrie Irving actually hates that Kevin Durant from Eric Karim. Oh, that's messed up. They got something on the Bleacher Report Nets thing. They have Charles Barkley with that O face. You know, like that O face, like.
Now the
representing
Sixers
Nets fans.
Sixers Twitter just having fun with this. They're just like, I don't want to play with Ben
No,
Simmons either.
see. I understand with the New Age Nets fans that all jumped on the goddamn bandwagon. They're like, they all jumped on the bandwagon when the Nets all of a sudden got good. How do you think I feel as a Nets fan that's been watching this team since 1993, and I've had my fair share of heartbreak with this goddamn organization, and I finally feel like for the first time I have a legit chance to see my team win a championship, the first time ever, and it's been literally hell on earth for the past few years. And now it's like another chapter in the disaster known as the Brooklyn Nets. And I'm sorry, I don't want to be negative. I really don't. I was as high as possible about this team, and now it's just right back down to earth again. I'm so tired of being negative about this team. This is why I get as crazy as I do about the Nets. Oh, by the way, NYG, guess who's playing on Tuesday for Heart of the City? The Brooklyn Nets. They were flexed to TNT. Yeah.
Wait, who are they playing on Tuesday? Who are you guys playing?
Phoenix. And Devin Booker's supposed to be back for that game.
Wait, hold on. You got the Clippers Monday.
I wish.
So
you got the Suns Tuesday. On Saturday?
Let me ask you guys something, because you guys watch a little bit more NBA. I'm still trying to catch up on the NBA because the Giants were actually good this year, so I was dived into the football.
I agree.
But,
oh my god.
what are the who's on the block right now? Who's on the trade block? Like, I'm talking superstars, like big names.
John Collins.
Talk to me.
Oh.
That ain't. Kyrie Irving. We used to work
for how long?
Kyrie Irving.
How long? Not even how long's gonna take it.
No one wants John Collins. That's the funny thing.
I want more than John Collins.
I know.
I want more. I give me Trae Young.
Trae Young.
I'll take Trae Young.
Hey.
I could take. I could deal with Trae Young.
New York.
Yeah.
You'll own the Knicks even longer if you get him.
He'll fit good with Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons can't shoot.
Kyrie Irving just dropped a cryptic tweet just about an hour ago. He says,
great.
"To my peers, just be yourself and grow. Keep people around who celebrate you unconditionally and appreciates all of the hard work that gets put in. Distance yourself from the folks who manipulate, hate, and hurt." You think that's a shot at Kevin Durant?
That's a shot at it's one of them. It's KD or Ben Simmons, or it's just
sending that back to the jersey.
It's the ownership. Or it's ownership. It's one of the three. It's Kyrie. It's Simmons. It's KD or it's ownership.
I don't think it's KD because they wanted to team up together.
Things change after a few years, though. Egos start bumping into one each other. Remember, the Nets forced the team to trade for James Harden. Remember, they could all play great together. They could all play together. James Harden, Kyrie Irving.
Oh, the Birdman. Yeah.
They all thought they could play together, and how did that end up?
When you guys undefeated when you three were playing all together?
I love Pascal Siakam. I would love Pascal Siakam. I love him as a forward.
Talk to Randy about that.
That's right. That's right.
Love Pascal Siakam.
And they rebuilding too. Oh yeah, that would be an excellent move.
February 9th, I don't think so. That's the trade deadline, Earl. The trade deadline is on February 9th. I'm going to be busy all day. I'm going to be doing a Nets game that night. Oh joy! And I'm going to be doing the trade deadline talk all day. That's going to be a very heart palpitating trade deadline to watch.
When is the deadline?
February 9th.
Thursday. This Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah, Jeff and I and Randy live all day.
You guys probably will call up. You know what? I would not mind taking some of that young talent off your hands, Arku, with OKC. Yeah. You guys got a lot of good young talent. Yeah, Randy says it sounds like ownership to him. It could be ownership. He has had problems with Josiah.
I feel like
He
it's
has
Ben
had problems with
Simmons.
Josiah.
I feel like it's Ben Simmons.
No, but that's the cop-out answer. Everything's the cop-out answer is always Ben Simmons. I think it's more than just Ben Simmons or Kevin Durant. I think he's had an issue with ownership for a while because they're hesitant to give him a long-term deal. There was talk about that because they didn't give him a long-term deal last offseason, and he has battled a little bit with the Nets front office because they don't want to give him a deal. They don't want to do it.
Counter that.
Yeah.
Remember when Ben Simmons was under the net and Kyrie yelled, "Shoot it, Ben"?
That's one time, though.
I don't care. He yelled him to shoot the ball.
To get a trade last year, and no one wanted him. Sorry, Nets. Don't think you will get as much as you want for him, unfortunately. Well, I mean, what's going on, Mac? And
then we don't trade him.
Hey,
Look,
Mac.
we don't have to trade him. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to trade him. We don't. We really don't.
Kyrie wouldn't tweet about Simmons.
That's
That's true.
Kyrie wouldn't tweet about.
You're right. No, Nets, no Jets. He wouldn't tweet about Kyrie. And Mac is right though. NYG. Kyrie is a freaking headache. I'm sorry. He is a headache.
Yeah.
I can't
So much headache.
lie about it. He really is a headache sometimes to
Hey,
deal
wrap me out. What's your favorite basketball team? I don't even know.
Randy, can I get
Oh, the baseball team, Yankees.
No,
Oh,
basketball.
But see, the thing about
Basketball.
it is, Jeffy, is not just
basketball,
it's
the
not
Bulls.
just Kyrie.
The
It's
Warriors?
It's the ownership that
Chicago
made that
Bulls,
trade.
Chicago Bulls.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
It's also, we thinking about who we hired. Steve Nash. He was a part of this disaster. You know what I'm saying? We think about Ben Simmons. He's a part of this disaster. You know, James Harden was a part of this disaster. Kevin Durant, like all these guys are part of this, man. It ain't just Kyrie. Kyrie's the one that wants to trade.
You're right.
But KD just asked for a trade no longer than like 4 or 5 months ago. So what are we talking about here? You know, these guys apparently is something within this organization that these players don't want to play here. So I want to get to the bottom of this, man.
Yeah.
Really.
Kellerman just said there's a good possibility Kyrie ends up staying with the Nets. I don't even know what the hell to say anymore. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Make sure your jury and B. Webster want to go younger, not older, and headache. Randy, you want Obi to come Cam. Randy, you want Obi, Cam, McBride for OG. Here we go. Almighty Finesse over here trying to make trades.
I don't think OG is good. A lot of teams want OG. A lot.
Yeah, he has been. No, it's Kyrie or Harden. Who's the bigger headache? 50-50. You could just put both of them up there. They're both a massive headache. And Kevin Durant's been a headache too. There's not really anybody on that team in terms of a superstar and then the ownership that has not been giving Nets fans a headache. It's like a constant thing over all the place.
If you want to call this guy an up and
Right,
coming,
Jeffy. It's all of them, man. I don't want people just to point the finger at Kyrie Irving.
It's everybody.
You know what I'm saying? It's the whole squad.
Now, if you want to talk about upcoming superstar on the Nets,
Perkins
who's
is
not a
toast.
headache, that's Nick Claxton.
I love
Who's
Claxton.
who's not a
me
headache,
some Nick Claxton.
who's upcoming. He's the future. You got to build around him.
I would definitely build around him. That's the guy that I think is the future of this basketball team. I just think he needs to get a little bit, I think he needs to get a little bit bigger in the post, and he needs to develop his offensive game a little more. But yeah, Nicholas Claxton's turning himself into one of the best young centers in the NBA.
Doesn't he average like 2 or 3 fouls a game or something like that?
Well, here's Woj right now.
Yeah, I saw
Brooklyn
that.
Nets star has told the franchise he wants to be traded ahead of the Thursday's deadline. There were some talks on a new deal for Irving, but no deal was reached, and the trade request was delivered to the organization today. Sources tell ESPN Irving can leave the franchise this summer as a free agent. Trying to see if there's any other updates or anything. Why the hell would he request a trade? Nick Claxton has done. The Nets have done nothing to Nick Claxton except reward him to it. He could have left as a free agent last year, and he decided to come back on the team. So, I hear you about the organization, but these problems seem to persist everywhere he goes. He is right.
Yeah,
about that. He is right.
I mean, he wants to do his own thing. He wants to do his own thing. And I said this before. If Kyrie wants to do his own thing, and I do not blame him for that, I am Mr.
Right.
Unpopular. I am unpopular opinion sports. I am not mad at somebody for voicing their opinion and what they feel about whatever topic it is. I can't be mad at that. What I can be mad at though is that, like, look, if you are not really dedicated to basketball and you want to be an activist or whatever it is, then go do that, bro. You made money, retire, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Stop trying to double dip. That's what I don't like. That's what I get mad about Kyrie. Back. It's like, go hard about being paused, about being an activist, or just play ball. Like, you trying to mix the two. You trying to mix politics and basketball, and I don't like people when people do that. I don't like politics, and I definitely don't like when you bring politics into sports.
Yeah.
And that's my gripe with Kyrie. Outside of that, I don't have a problem with him. He's an excellent basketball player. He doesn't do anything malicious on or off the court. It's just his political views that people don't like, you know, and that is what it is, man. Unfortunately, it's a distraction. So maybe it's time to move on.
Yeah, no, you're right. You said it absolutely beautifully, MYG. It's nothing to do with him as a basketball player. He's an absolutely top-level, terrific basketball player on the court. It's just the problem with Kyrie Irving, like you just said. The politics come into play. The vaccine thing became a major distraction last year. You know, some of the other things he has off the court, the Sage, whatever it is. I mean, whatever you want to do on your own accord, that's no problem. It's your life. You can do whatever the hell you want with it. But when you start mixing into stuff on the court, that's where I have a problem with it. And it's affecting this team right now, because now this team that's third place in the Eastern Conference, still potentially competing for a championship, it just threw this whole goddamn team now into a flux, because now everybody else on that team is just figuring, what the hell is going on now? Are we going to be blowing it up now? Like, what's going to happen with this team? I feel bad for some of these other players on this basketball team that came here because they thought they were going to win a championship, and now one of their superstars is trying to request a trade off the team. So I feel bad for those guys, like, you know, that they want to come here because they thought this is the best chance they can win a title. LeBron needs to stick to basketball also. Well, I don't know what political stuff LeBron does or anything. I don't care. It's none of my business. So, sorry, these players using Brooklyn for agendas outside of ball. What I meant about that is that they ain't all in for winning a ring. Maybe you're not wrong, Miz. I don't know how to feel right now. Maybe you're not wrong, and that's fine. If that's your view, I totally respect it. Maybe you're not wrong on the whole what you're saying. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, Miz is not wrong, and I can't be mad at people that feel the way they feel about Kyrie. I personally don't feel that way about him. I mean, I just want it to be about basketball, and unfortunately, it's not, man. And with this team, it's never about basketball. They have one of the most talented teams in the NBA, but it's never about basketball, man. You know what I'm saying? Whether whoever's fault that is, I don't care. I just want this to be about basketball. It's the same thing I felt about with the New York Giants, you know, and they got rid of the headaches. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not calling Kyrie a headache. I'm not going to disrespect that man like that, man. But it's just, it bothers me, man, because this team is good enough to win a chip, and they're throwing it away, man.
Yes, he is. They're brothers. Seth Curry is the younger brother of Steph. It's just
my dad.
I just feel so. I feel disappointed. I mean, NYG, you always talk about how I'm like more crazy with the Nets than I am with the Giants. I mean, the Giants have shown me success. The Giants have given me moments to be happy about. The Giants have given me reasons to be happy about that franchise. Tell me really a lot of moments. What moments have the Nets given us over the years? The Giants are going the right direction.
The Nets are just like, what are you doing here?
What have the Nets given us really besides headaches, you know, embarrassment, horrendous trades at times, this kind of stuff, drama all over the place? Like, what have the Nets in recent years given us that really we could be 100% proud of? I'm trying to think. There's not really a lot. Exactly. And now you know why I get frustrated. I've been living and dying with this basketball team for the better part of 30 years. And they've given really me nothing to be happy about. They've been giving me a lot more negative than positive. Knicks fans talk about, like, you know, all the heartache that they've been through. And yeah, I agree with them. But the Nets have not been that far behind.
And that's the thing about it, man. We talk about one thing. Let me say one thing. This is this is kind of a heart of the city topic, but look, the New York City area is
Uh-huh.
predominantly focused, like the predominant sport in New York is basketball. Like we all grew
I
up
hear
in the
you,
park.
Miz.
We all grew up playing basketball in the street ball, you know what I mean, crate ball. You had the crate, you cut the crate out and
You're
you
right,
played
Miz.
basketball about that, man. But the thing about it is our professional teams have not given us what the city has put into the sport of basketball. Like it's
I
so
agree.
many
You're right.
legends. There's so many and one legends. There's so many street ball legends. There's so many legends that were born and raised in Brooklyn and New York and just so many, man. But our professional sports teams, the Knicks and the Nets, have never given us a winning product on the court. And that's sad, man, because New York City is the home of basketball, man. And it kills me, man, to say this, man. But our professional basketball teams are trash. Trash, both of them.
They are. It hurts my heart. Like it just really does that I put so much time into this basketball team. I put so much effort rooting for this team and being behind this basketball team, and then they just pull off some garbage like this, and it hurts because this is the one thing. This is the one thing about being a fan. Sometimes that just like you get so invested on this kind of stuff, and you think you have a chance at becoming a legit championship team, and then something like this happens, and it's just snap of a finger, it could be over. It's just it sucks, and I mean I'm really curious to see what the Nets are going to do if they're going to call his bluff or not. But this is just terrible. It's terrible. I'm like, I honestly don't even know what to say. I'm like, really, really
And
just.
I agree with Miz right there. Social media has ruined sports.
He's
It,
right.
it has
Social
it
media
has
is
made it
disgusting.
has made it about drama instead of about the product on the field and the competition. See, the reason I love sports, guys, is because I love competing. I love the
Me too.
competition aspect of
Yeah,
it.
me too.
You know what I'm saying? And when you make it about storylines and drama, it takes the competition out of it, man. And I that's when I start to lose interest. You know, it does suck, man. I agree with Miz. It sucks, man.
No, it does. You're right, Miz, about it.
Yeah,
Knicks
by the way,
have.
Jeff, the Sixers
Yeah.
writers that I work with, one of them was told that it's unlikely Durant requests a trade or get moved. So there you go.
Well, we'll wait and see. It could change on the dime. It could
I mean, it
change on the
depends at
dime of a
all.
dime.
Durant, if he says nothing, then that means he's pretty much signing off on it.
Yep.
So,
It's ownership and management that f's up the organizations. Yeah, I always say before, it's not the player. It starts with ownership. It always starts with ownership. Why? What does coach always keep saying all the time when it comes to the Knicks? James Dolan. Why are Yankees fans always pissed off all the time about their product? Hal Steinbrenner. I know they always talk about Cashman, but it starts with the owner. It starts with Hal. Why are the Mets were so bad for so many years? The Wilpons. Now we're happier because we have Steve Cohen. The Giants. How many times did we complain about the Giants for years with like their inept play stuff? Where did it start at? John Mara. More than Steve Tisch. You could put Tisch in there too, but it was mostly Mara. Jets. The Johnson brothers. It always starts with ownership. If you have bad ownership, the freaking Dallas Cowboys. Why do we always laugh at the Cowboys and say that team's never been good? Jerry Jones. It starts with ownership. Everything starts with ownership. And I've had a little bit of a wide eye when it comes to Joe Tsai. I mean, this team has been like all over the place with ownership. From Bruce Ratner with the whole Brooklyn project that he was trying to set up to Mr. Prokhorov with that whole thing that he was trying to do. We have to win championship in 5 years. Yeah, 3 years and you left. You gave up. And then now with Joe Tsai. It's like it just doesn't end. It's like a never-ending thing. At this
Yeah,
point,
exactly about
if
it.
Kyrie wants to get traded, get him the hell off this team and just get another star if you can. I don't want to deal with a distraction on this team. I don't. I don't want to deal with the malcontent Kyrie Irving. If he's doesn't want to be here, he's pissed off, he's going to sit out some games. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to keep talking about it every single day and be like, when is Kyrie Irving going to do this? Or Kyrie Irving is going to get upset about this? Or like the ownership's going to do something. I don't want to talk about the negative stuff anymore. I mean, I agree with Miz 100%. Social media has destroyed sports. Thank God we didn't have this back in the 90s and the 80s. Thank God. We could actually go out there and enjoy sports for what it was and not have to deal with everybody ever going on friggin' wrestlers do it too. Wrestlers are the worst when it comes to social media.
I think wrestlers are worse, yeah.
They whine all the time on social media. And I apologize if I'm not catching up to your comments, guys. I'm just letting off some steam. I'm really upset about this one. I really am. This hurts my soul. Because, it's just this team is finally looking like a team that was coming together. I just praised Kyrie Irving not that long ago that he was finally showing some maturity. And he was getting past
did
all
you
this
see
stuff.
did you see my post on Twitter?
I haven't been on Twitter in 2 or 3 days. No, I have not.
Yeah, I just posted something the other night with the Celtics Nets game. I just bought a Jeff Hamilton Nets jacket and a Nets hat and
I saw that.
yeah, I had all my shit on or whatever, man. I invested in this team, man, and you go out, you do this shit. This is what pisses me off about teams and sports. It's yo, we put money and we put effort into you guys. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're fans just to be fans. We spend time on these platforms. We spend money to buy gear. We spend money to buy different things for our teams. We spend a lot of energy on your team. And when your team doesn't perform and when you feel like they're not even trying or they're shit in the bag, it pisses you off. I get it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say some of the things that I say to where I'm not about just this, this Nets team and Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? It's about the organization. How is this organization going to look moving forward? Because eventually KD's going to retire anyway. Kyrie wants out. What are you going to do with Ben Simmons? Do you want Cam Thomas and Daquan Sharp? Are they part of your future? Yeah, you like Nick Claxton, but can you build around a guy like Nick Claxton? So these are some of the questions that we have to ask. But when you're constantly asking those questions, then your team is not putting that same effort that you put into, Jeffy, that I put into. And I'm buying, you know what I'm saying, expensive jackets and coats and going to see games and traveling, but my team ain't putting the same effort into me. Yeah, it pisses you off. It does, man. We got to look at what we put into this team and what we put into sports, period. Don't let them say, oh, well, we can't do this because of this. These guys have billions and billions of dollars. They can fix this team if they want to.
Yeah.
But they're not trying, and the Knicks ain't trying, and it sucks.
It's like they waved the white flag and they just gave up. What's up, M85? Been a great conversation. I'm not a fan of either team. That's fine. Appreciate you coming by the live stream, though. This was a football stream to start out from, and then Mitch just dropped that bombshell about Kyrie Irving, and I'm turning this into a basketball stream now. Okay.
Hey, a friend of mine sent me it. Don't blame me. I was like, what the hell?
No, I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying.
I did want to talk about the football too, though. I really did.
No, we can talk about football.
Because there's some wide receivers and some linebackers, man.
I'm just getting. I need to get my. I'm
not talking about draft talk yet.
I was talking about draft talk before. I've been scouting a bunch of wide receivers. I've been doing a lot of scouting too, like I mentioned on the Heart of the City. I'm not a big scouting person. I'm not good at it. I try to I'm not going to go out there and pretend I know what the hell I'm talking about. That's why I look at guys like NYG, Coach Ed, Big Pat, Lou, Joel, Dash, those guys. They know they're good at this stuff. I am terrible when it comes to this. I just I try to do my best when it comes to scouting, college players. So I've been doing it from here and there, but I'm concentrating so much on the basketball. And then this nugget just drops this afternoon. So, I've watched some football tape. I've watched some young wide receivers that I've been scouting mostly because, I'm watching some of the wide receivers. I'm going to be doing some linebackers, offensive linemen. It's just too early for me with the draft. I mean, the draft is still months away. I'm gonna wait until like we get closer to the draft, and I'll go more hot and heavy in that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So like
They
I'm
got
more into
Senior
basketball
Bowl.
right now.
They got Senior Bowl
is
coming out
tomorrow.
though. And they also got I think the East West Shrine game that's over with. But like the Senior Bowl is out, man. The Combine is coming up, man.
Yeah.
There are some good wide receivers. There are some good linebackers coming
Thank
in
you.
for the draft for the New York Giants. I give you a couple names you could take a look at. Zay Flowers.
I
You could
like Zay
also take a
Flowers
look.
a lot. I talked about him earlier, the speedster from
You could take a
Boston
look at
College.
yeah, you could take a look at Tank Dell. Tank Dell is
Mhm.
gaining steam.
From Houston.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, very explosive pause wide receiver. You could also take a look at Josh Downs. You mentioned him, Jesse.
I like him
Jeffy.
a lot. I
You
like
could
him.
you could also take a look at a guy like A.T. Perry, Rasheed Rice. These are bigger guys, pause, that can go up for contested catches and give you those downfield threats, man, as well. As Mingo. I'm blanking on his first
Jonathan
name, but
Mingo. Jonathan
Jonathan
Mingo.
Mingo. He's another one
Yeah,
that can
from
do
Ole
that.
Miss.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah,
said
so
Kuminga. I'm like, wait, we're still talking about baseball
no,
here?
no. And then with the linebackers, of course, you got Drew Sanders, you got Jack Campbell, Trenton Simpson, and you also have Overshown.
If you're talking about
That's
football,
yeah.
there we go.
Well, I got another breaking news. Apparently, about Kyrie Irving. Apologize to cut it off, NYG, but apparently Irving rejected a Nets extension and was vehemently against any contract that includes stipulations. So there you go. That's probably why
That's
he got
it.
pissed off, because the Nets wanted to add stipulations to the contract and Kyrie was against that. And that's probably why he got pissed off and asked for a trade. There you go. There's your answer why.
Oh, dang.
Sorry.
That was stupid
So
on their
the Nets obviously didn't trust Kyrie Irving to like fully be able to go out there and do what he's supposed to do, and they decided to try to add some stipulations in case something went awry. And Kyrie Irving wasn't a fan of that, and then he decided to request a trade. But NYG, I'm sorry. Go ahead and continue. I apologize for interrupting.
Oh, he's muted.
Oh, now you good. You good.
Oh, you go, you go, you go.
I'm listening.
I was-
I'm listening to you, man. Go ahead, man.
Yeah.
I was just talking about the wide receivers and some of the linebackers in the NFL draft, man. But yeah, man. What would be your target, Jeffy, in the first round if you had your pick?
Of a wide receiver or just a player in general?
Just a player in general. What would you be looking at, man? Let's skip past free agency for a minute, man. And what would you be looking at, man? Just given a roster right now, in the draft.
Well, the guy I really am interested in the most is Trenton Simpson. I really like Trenton Simpson a lot. I think he'd solve a lot of the problems in the middle of the football field for the Giants at linebacker. So that's the guy that would be my number one target. Selfishly, I would love one of those quarterbacks like Witherspoon. Witherspoon, I forget what college he's from. I just talked about it earlier. He's a guy I like a lot. Obviously, Joey Porter Jr. is a dream from Penn State. You know, Ringo over there from Georgia. Those are a couple of guys
I want
I'd be
Joey
interested
Porter.
in.
I like
would
Joey
love
Porter.
Joey, but I think he's gonna be a top pick. The Eagles actually could even take him if they
Oh,
wanted. They
God.
could take Simpson too. Telling you, the Eagles, Simpson might be a target for the Eagles because of the fact that they're going to be losing a couple of linebackers in free agency. So that's a potential guy that they could be looking at is Trenton Simpson at the linebacker position. But yeah, it would probably be if I had the guys I would want most, it would probably be Trenton Simpson and Joey Porter Jr. If it's wide receivers, obviously Quentin Johnson. I don't love Smith and Jigba as much as some others do. I'm not even that high on Hyatt. I know the guy has a lot of speed, but I don't know if he's getting translated by the
I like
NFL.
those guys, man. I want a route runner. I want a
That's why
route
I
runner
want
with
Downs, and
speed.
that's why I want Addison.
Yeah.
Downs and Addison.
Yeah,
the route
Addison's
runners.
Addison's my number one target.
Yeah, I would take Addison a second, or Downs. I think Downs is a really good route runner in the slot, but he's a slot guy.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
Smith and Jigma's good route runner too, man. That's why a lot of people are high on him. Giants fans.
Are you worried about his health though? He gets hurt a lot.
Yeah, I am. You know me, Jeff. I'm definitely worried about his health, but
Yeah.
especially if you bring Sterling Shepard back, man. Which I'm warming up to the idea of it. I know I was a little harsh on it earlier, but I get it, man. If he's gonna be cheap, you bring him around for continuity. I understand, man. But
Yeah.
if you're bringing back Shepard, yeah, to have another guy that's injured and Wandale Robinson, I want more of a sure bet, man. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you. That's why I like a guy like Rasheed Rice has really caught my eye recently too, because I think that guy, he's what, 6'2", 6'3". He could jump up and grab the ball out of the air. He's a decent route runner. That guy's really caught my eye a lot more. I know.
Yeah, they said he struggled a little bit at the
Oh,
They said he's been struggling a little bit, yeah, at the Senior Bowl. Yeah,
Is he
that's
having
what I've
trouble
heard.
getting off press man coverage?
Yeah, it's having trouble separating. Yep.
Yeah, but is he more like a prototypical jump ball guy? Like, he's not really a guy that you're going to be counting on in terms of separation with speed and like quickness. He's going to be more about the outside jump ball, sort of like Kenny Galladay. So, I mean, it's also going to be, it's also going to depend on what the Giants exactly are looking for in terms of a wide receiver. I mean, are they going to be looking for some of those twitchy guys over the middle that can create yards after the catch? Are they going to be looking for a speed guy? Are they going to be looking for a route runner, an outside possession receiver, an outside jump ball guy, a deep threat? So it's like, what kind of type of wide receivers are they going to be looking for in the draft exactly? And is it going to be a first-round guy? I'm actually leaning more towards the Giants aren't going to go wide receiver in the first round. I'm thinking they're going to go wide receiver more in the second or third. Like around that area. That's where my area, I think they're going to target a wide receiver, second or third round.
Look, let me tell you something, Jeffy. We got 2 third-round picks. Don't be surprised if the Giants spend both of those third-round picks on a wide receiver.
You don't think they're going to trade one of those?
Don't be surprised
for an established guy.
If they do, yeah, you still spending both of your picks on a third-round guy.
Breaking news:
if
no
not,
charges have been dropped.
Well, that's good for the Bengals. Joe Mixon's charges have been dropped after the misdemeanor he was accused of. But I'm sorry, go ahead, NYG.
Nah, I'm saying if you have 2 third-round picks, which the Giants have, don't be surprised if they spend both of those third-round picks on a wide receiver. And the reason I say that is because they can either use one of those picks. They can use one of those picks to trade for a receiver and pick one, or they can just pick 2 because the receiver class is loaded in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th rounds of the draft.
Yeah, that's
true. From what I have noticed, yes, it's very good depth. So you can easily get 2 guys, 2 starters, with your 2 third-round picks, and you could take your 1st and your 2nd round picks and go corner, go interior offensive lineman, or possibly go interior defensive lineman, which I'm a proponent of, and I'm gonna have a little some coming out, but I ain't gonna spoil the fun. But yeah, I think that's the route the Giants need to go.
Which I would not be opposed to at all if they ended up going that route. If they decided to go 2 wide receivers for the 3rd-round picks, but I want it to be 2 different kinds of wide receivers and not the same type of player.
Yeah,
they're gonna go
you
with
don't
like 2 different wide receivers. I want one guy that could be that twitchy guy over the middle, a good route runner, speed guy, and then have another guy that could be more of an outside threat. I don't want 2 of the same. I mean, like sort of like what Green Bay did. Green Bay sort of has 2 guys that are a little bit different between Watson and Dobbs.
You can go Tank Dell and Rasheed Rice, or if you're lucky enough to get Quentin Johnson, you can go Quentin Johnson, and then you can take a guy like Josh Downs or even Parker Washington out of Penn State.
Well, yeah, we do need offensive linemen, interior guys. That is true. We do need interior offensive linemen. I don't know what they're thinking going into the offseason. I mean, they could potentially say that if Zudu's healthy, he's going to be the left guard of the future. I don't know what they're feeling about Gates. I think they might let him walk. Bredesen, I'm not sure. It's just really a lot to open up with. Here's another NBA news. The Hornets are apparently shopping all their vets. So the Charlotte Hornets are apparently shopping all their vets ahead of the trade deadline.
Wow.
So the Hornets are
not like they had anything.
Well, they got what do
you can't even think of it right off the
Terry Rozier. They got that other guy they got from Boston. I can't remember his name. He got hurt twice.
It's not Bridges.
No, not Bridges. The other guy. hurt his ankle with the Celtics. He got
Hayward.
traded.
Hayward.
Gordon Hayward. That's it. Yeah, they have Gordon
Who's
Hayward.
gonna want him? He's injury prone.
Yeah, but some
Who are
team
they
might
gonna
be
want from?
trade
The
him,
Hornets.
trade him for a second-round pick. I don't know. Trade him for a second-round pick. Maybe you can get something from the guy.
There's nothing that I want from the Hornets except for LaMelo
Not
Ball.
you. I'm talking about another team. I didn't say the Sixers wanted him. It's not like
No,
you
I'm
can trade
just
Joel
saying.
Embiid for
I'm just
Gordon
saying. I
Hayward.
don't want anything that the Hornets have.
Oh,
The only
Would you
player I
want
might
LaMelo
want
Ball?
is LaMelo. That's one. That's the only. If Miles Bridges was playing, maybe him.
Philly halftime says you guys got to make a trade.
There's rumors that we're
Yeah.
trying to go after a backup point guard, backup center, or back. We're trying to build our bench. That's the rumor. But honestly, right now, with Doc winning the Eastern Conference Coach of the Month for January, I don't know. They're still talking about moving Thibault.
He's a terrible coach, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, you suck.
yeah, it is.
Sucks. Second place in the East, or like up top
We're
14
third.
in the East,
we're
and
third.
he sucks.
Yeah, don't worry. Wait for the playoffs. He'll choke. Wait for the playoffs. He'll choke.
And you know what's funny about Doc Rivers sucking? Pause.
Whoa.
Is yeah, I paused. Don't,
There you
don't
go. There you
worry.
go.
I paused twice, 3 times for you. So,
Oh no.
but you know what's crazy about that is he was raised as a New York Knick. He's a Knick.
Yeah,
Doc Rivers is a
exactly.
Knick.
He is.
He played for the Hawks too.
He's a Knick though,
Yeah.
through and through.
His son. Remember when Doc Rivers got ejected and his son was just and flipped him off? His son was on
Wow.
the opposing team. Doc
This
Rivers
is
got-
actually a great tweet by a guy that I listened to on WFAN, Keith McPherson. I don't know if you guys know
I
him.
know.
He's actually a big time Nets fan. He actually has a great point here. KD requested a trade when free agency started. Kyrie requested a trade right before the deadline. Can the Nets trade Ben Simmons? Nope. They were the only ones dumb enough to trade for James Harden, then dumb enough to trade him and take on Ben. Ha, hilarious dysfunction. He's not wrong. He's absolutely 1,000% right.
because it's funny.
He's 1,000% right on that quote. I'm retweeting it because he's absolutely right on that one.
You need a
It's
quote.
just-
Let me
tweeting
tell you
for
something,
1,000.
though.
You need a quote tweeting and put the emoji 100.
Go ahead, MYG.
Nah, I was just gonna say something real quick. So, what we're missing is the fact that we do not have to trade these players. They can pout and axe all they want. We don't got to move them. Would it be in our best interest? Yeah, maybe. But
Remember, it took us like 2 years to trade Ben.
Oh.
at some point, these owners, and me and Jeff has talked about this, you got to stand up to your players and say, look, you signed a contract, honor your contract, and then you can move on. That's how I feel, man. I'm going to let these guys play it out. Oh, can they walk for nothing? Yeah. But if you don't value that player, then what does it matter to you if he walks? If you don't want him on your team anyway. But right now, you got a chance to win a championship.
Yeah.
So you keep these players regardless of what they feel like. That's the contract you honor. If I sign a contract with a business partner, I'm expected to honor that contract. I'm not expected to back out after 2 years and say, nah, I want to go with somebody else. This is business. This is how business works. We're not even talking about sports. This is business, man.
Yeah, but we know how business and sports are different nowadays. Sports, you have the power to be able, especially in the NBA, you have the power to just be able to go out there. And if you're not happy, you're not comfortable enough, and you want to go to another team to have a better chance of winning a championship, you can put out that public pressure. And a lot of times these owners and these GMs end up folding and end up trading you because A, they don't want to deal with the distraction. B, they don't want to deal with the headache. And C, they just think they're going to try to get as much value for you as possible. So if I'm the Nets, I would steadfast, like I said they should with Kevin Durant. But I don't know if they're going to do it this time. They might just be at a point where, like, we're just done with this headache. We're done with Kyrie Irving. We're done with Kyrie Irving with this stuff going on. And we're just going to try to move him for the best possible package going forward. And then we'll try to see what we can do with Kevin Durant and the rest of this team going forward. So it's going to kill the offense, though. The problem is you take Kyrie Irving off this offense. I mean, basketball-wise, it's a monster loss for this team because who's picking up the slack on this team? Joe Harris? Ha! Seth Curry? Ha! Royce O'Neal? Yeah, right. TJ Warren? Hurt? No. Don't even say Ben Simmons. Nobody on this team can pick up the offensive slack.
No Ben.
I can say it.
That's the problem, is that we don't have anybody on this team. From a basketball standpoint, when if he does get traded, that's a monster void. The players that's true. The NFL is starting to get it too now. NFL players are starting to get a lot more say into where they want to go as well. So it's like becoming a thing in sports. If NYG, Mitch, Raphael, myself, everybody, if we went out to our job one day and we said we want to request to go to this place, we want to request a trade to go to another job, they'd fire us right on the spot. We'd be gone. No negotiations.
That's what happened to a friend of mine last week.
Sports, you can't do that because these guys are, investments, merchandise sellers, box office people. They bring in audience, they bring in seats, they bring in the box office, they bring in the money, merchandise sales, ticket sales. That's the difference when it comes to sports, when it comes to your regular old business mundane job. I mean, you could have some similarities to it, but sports has a little business aspect to it tied in as well.
Yes.
These guys were investments to them. And also, Joe Tsai's got to think about what's best for his business overall with the Brooklyn Nets. Is his best business move to trade away Kyrie Irving, even though he's requested it? I don't think so. Because all those people that have been paying tickets to go see Kyrie Irving at Barclays Center, how do you think they're going to feel when they hear Kyrie Irving wants to get traded? I know about it. I know Philly halftime.
Yep.
It's already starting to go downhill. That's the biggest difference is business-wise. It's different in sports compared to an actual business, is that these people are, investments and their ticket sales, their merchandise sales, money. It all comes down to money with everything. And these guys are the ones that bring in the money. You trade away Kyrie Irving and you don't get any type of decent package back with young other superstars coming back in a deal, ticket sales are going to go down. Interest is going to go down. Merchandise sales are going to go down. Money is going to go down.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the tricky position is with this team. But also you have to deal with the headache of a guy that says he's pretty much threatening his way to walk off the team. I would trade him at this point. Be like, okay, we're going to call you bluff. But I don't know if the Nets are going to be able to. I don't know if the Nets are going to, A, want to deal with his headache anymore, and B, they're going to want to take a risk of him, not trading him, keeping him on the team. They don't win, and then he ends up walking at the end of the season. Jeff,
not getting rid of him unless I get a bag, man. Straight up. Go ahead, though.
No, that's what I would do. I would try to ask for a bag for him. I agree with you. Ask for a bag and see if you can get something big for him in return. Jeff, what I get frustrated? The rest of the NFC East has gotten better except for the Cowboys. You guys had your chance. You guys are plateauing now. You're plateauing. You're going down because your quarterback isn't that great. Your running back is done. Your backup running back is injured and going to be a free agent. Your star wide receiver needs an extension. Your other wide receiver that you re-signed to a big deal, he didn't have a good season at all, coming back from an ACL. Your defense is a little bit suspect on the back end of your defense. The linebacking core is a mess, besides Parsons. Yeah, you guys got problems. And now you're looking for an offensive coordinator, even though a lot of you guys probably are happy to get rid of Kellen Moore. Your Giants are better off. Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's nothing I could complain about the Giants. The only thing I could complain about is that we couldn't beat our NFC East opponents. But I can't complain at all about the Giants. The Giants have given me nothing but happiness and appreciation this whole time. I am not going to complain about the Giants one bit. That's why this entire time I did not bitch. I did not complain. I did not go off on the Giants much at all this season. The only couple of times I did was when we got our asses beat by the Philadelphia Eagles. That's it. Otherwise, I've been proud of this football team because I know good things are ahead. The Nets, that's a totally different story. The Nets, to me, they are an absolute volcano waiting to erupt. We all saw a little, like when a volcano is getting ready to erupt, you see little puff clouds coming up from time to time. Like, little clouds of explosions coming up, and you're just waiting for the massive explosion to happen. That's the Brooklyn Nets. And guess what? The massive explosion might be on hands. Eagles are in the Super Bowl. Yeah, they are. Jerry, why can't you see that? Because Jerry's old and senile and just doesn't get it. That's not necessarily true, though. You can tell a job. You're thinking about leaving and use that as leverage to get and pay raise. Just depends. Well, it also depends on how much they value you at the job. That's another thing too. It depends on the value of what a job thinks of you as an employee. If they think of you very highly, then yeah, maybe you can try to use some type of negotiating tactic if you're going, maybe like threatening to go to a rival company, if they're willing to bring you on. But it all depends on how much that certain company values you as an employee. That has a lot to do with it when it comes to leveraging and when it comes to, negotiations with a certain job. The Nets are heading down the road of the Knicks, but Nets still have time to stop before getting to that point. I want a freaking championship. I really do. Give me a goddamn championship. Trade me the drama for a championship any day of the week. This is my best chance, and I don't even know if it's going to happen now anymore. I mean, it's just I'm frustrated. I'm more disappointed than I am angry. And this is not me this is me being a Nets fan right now. This is me taking my fandom into play. This is just pure frustration because I've had to witness this stuff over and over again, from the Billy King disaster, from the 90s teams, from the team that had 12 wins and went 12-70, to finally having a good young team to be happy about with LeVert and Dinwiddie and Harris and Allen, Claxton coming in.
And of course, there's something I want to the opponent for this one, because they have 2 appearances at the NBA Finals.
Oh, I remember those. Yeah, 2000, 2001, 2002, and 2002, 2003. I remember those very vividly.
And they have it an amazing players like Vince Carter, in 2004, Jason Kidd, and he was a new head coach when it comes to 2013.
My guy also, too, Richard Jefferson, one of my favorite players on the team.
And of course, during the 90s, they began to improve behind of young players. They had Derek Coleman, Kenny Anderson, Drazen Petrovic. Also, there's Chuck Daly. I mean, there's something more important about the history of the New Jersey Nets and, of course, the Brooklyn Nets.
Sorry, Jeff, I feel bad. What is Sam's tweet now?
No, I'm just reading the tweet about the breaking news. It's just, no, I'll be fine. It's just.
I feel bad because I'm the one who told you.
Well, it's not your fault. I mean, you're not. I mean, you just tweeted the news. It's okay. I've learned to not expect anything with. Learned to expect anything with the Nets. That's just how I've been groomed to see this team. So, I can tell you right now. When we get to Heart of the City on Tuesday, we're gonna have a lot to talk about. That's for damn sure.
Oh yeah.
Especially with this basketball team. Oh, they're gonna be the story for this entire time. It's gonna be Nets all day, all night. I'm curious to feel how Breezy's feeling about this. I'm sure he's not happy about this either. He's probably not in a good mood after hearing about this either. But he's probably same thing that you feel, NYG.
I can hop on.
Trade him.
I can hop on and just talk about Ben Simmons going to you guys.
You're not hopping on nothing, boy.
Hey, be nice to a Jew.
I'm a Jewish too. My expectations are lower. My expectations are not low, but my expectations are very tainted right now. I'll say they're not low; they're tainted. Is that a nice word to say, tainted? Because that's how I feel right now as a Nets fan. Tainted.
Is that even a word?
Yes, it is. Damaged.
Oh, I think
bewildered.
Something. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Aggravated.
I heard it wrong. I heard it wrong. My bad.
Tainted. You never heard the word tainted?
No, I have. It just slipped my mind.
I don't blame you,
Oh.
Arku. I don't blame you. But yeah, that's the breaking news that we talked about earlier. Kyrie Irving has officially requested a trade from the Brooklyn Nets. He's informed the team about his request. Just the question is, are the Nets going to grant him his trade, or are they going to steadfast and be like, nope, we're not trading you. We're going to call your bluff. Just like they did with Kevin Durant back in the offseason. Yeah, I know. Not what you're thinking, though. This is why I wasn't mad about the loss to the Niners in the playoffs. You probably expected it. That's why. It's what the Cowboys
That's
do.
fine. Yeah.
It's what the Cowboys do to their fans. They find ways to lose. They find ways to blow it in the end.
Yeah, they just have a because
That's exactly what I was thinking, Blaze. That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, what the hell?
I mean,
You
what?
Sick people. Sick human beings.
But yo, I'm a jump off Jeff, man. You know what I'm saying? Pause, super
Mhm.
pause.
Super
Oh,
pause.
I'm
Major
saying,
pause.
Ultra, maybe the ultra.
But NYG, I appreciate you hopping on for this
Yeah.
impromptu basketball
Yeah.
news that is going to set me off for probably the rest
Pause.
of the day.
Yeah.
Pause.
Okay.
Nah. I got you,
Yo,
Jeff,
appreciate you
man. You
hopping
know what
on,
I'm
bro.
saying?
Appreciate you
Always
hopping on.
pause. Always appreciate you though, Jeff, man. You know what I'm saying? So we'll
Thank you.
we'll get through this, man. We'll
Yeah.
get through this together,
Yeah.
man. Don't let those Sixers fans and those Eagles fans, man, drive you crazy, man. You got your brother over here, NYG, man. You know what I'm saying? New York
Wow.
Giants, Brooklyn Nets, man, all day, man. If you need me, I'm here for you, Jeffy. Don't let that crazy man up there drive you crazy, man, with his outlandish takes.
Well,
Nah.
I'm not even thinking about what he's saying. I'm more frustrated with the Nets themselves than I am worried about the Sixers and all that
Outlandish take,
garbage. I don't
okay.
even care. I don't even care about them right now. I'm more pissed off at my own team. I don't get pissed off at other teams as much. I get more pissed off at my own teams than I do others. So don't even worry about it, man. But I appreciate you hopping on. Thank
Yeah,
you.
appreciate. I
Yeah,
always
no
love
doubt,
talking
man.
sports with you, bro. I always love talking sports with
Yeah,
you.
no doubt, man. For real, man. Appreciate you guys, man. Mitch, Jeffy, Raphael, man. You know, y'all my brothers, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Peace out, man. I'm a
Enjoy
dip
your
out for a
Friday,
minute
bro.
though. Yeah, you
Enjoy
too,
your
man.
Friday, bro. Thank you. Make sure you guys go sub up to NYG22, aka Mr. Unpopular Opinion Sports, if you have not already. He's a phenomenal content creator, Giants content creator, Knicks guy. He's also a Yankees fan, so appreciate that. I want Bijan Robinson to be drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. I don't blame you. He's a terrific young running back coming out of Texas. That's another guy that seems to be the flavor of the month for a lot of people. Empire State Building planning to go green. Don't even get me started with that. Don't even get me started with that one too.
I've been sorry a lot. Don't give me a the spoiler alert, okay? So King don't give me a the spoiler alert because I know some things like that. But yes, don't get me wrong.
F the Empire State Building.
Alert.
F it, and I love that building too. But F it right now.
Yeah, I love the building, but
yeah, I was laughing at that on my TikTok.
Shut up, Mitch.
Hey, it's my team. Hey, you guys are giving support to my team. I love it.
I'm not you, Jack. It's the stupid Empire State Building that's doing it. I think half the NFL wants Bijan, best running back in the. Yeah, absolutely. Bijan Robinson is a terrific running back coming out of this draft. I wouldn't even be surprised if he's a top 10 pick. Yeah, I don't want to get you started either, King Jers. Is Raphael more of a football or basketball guy? Raphael's a football guy. He actually does soccer too. I wish Jorge Rubio was here because he was just talking about you the entire time the other day, Raph.
Oh, there's a fun fact. I'm current about respect about that comment. I was more like the basketball guy, and of course wrestling because I'm certainly learning about the football, like the NFL and college football, and including I had a book to learn about something that I just doing watching films, and also of course I'm like, wow, That's very interesting. So I'm kind of like a rookie out of the football, like the NFL, but I'm just more like a baseball guy, a basketball guy, and of course a wrestling guy. So don't get me wrong about it.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, by the way, the NFL is trying so hard to limit concussions. Guess what? Concussions were up by 18% this year. Good job, NFL.
Wait, what was that?
The NFL concussion rate is up by 18% this year.
80%.
Oh yeah, because of Tua.
18.
Not only
No, it's
Tua,
not just
but also
Tua.
there's
Not
It's
just
not
Tua.
just Tua, but it's mostly.
Yeah. There's like a few players that have the concussion. So,
But all other injuries decreased by 5.6%. All other injuries overall decreased by 5.6%, but concussion somehow went up by 18%. Huh?
Yep.
What about it, NFL? The number of concussions increased from 126 in 2021 to 149 this past season. So it was about 150 concussions this past season. Yeah, player safety, my ass. But let's add more football games. About the Empire State Building, yes, it was green, but it was also red. Yeah, well, because of the Kansas City Chiefs. That's why they're doing it. It's just like it's a merchandise thing.
Yeah, it depends on the colors.
Yeah, well, it's a merchandise thing. I love the Empire State Building. It's like literally right around the back end of my corner. Concussions are going to happen, but it's still very funny that the NFL tries to go out there and tries to prevent concussions.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues
add
coming
more
out, but
games.
this is like the serious team about the concussions. It's like a serious team, no joke.
No, absolutely. You're absolutely right, Raph. It's something they always try to go out there and try to prevent, but I mean, when you have a bunch of guys going 1,000,000 miles per hour, smacking each other in the heads and everything, you're going to have
it's like
these
a
types of head injuries
serious
that are going to
team
happen.
to combine because those concussions right there, it's just a serious issue we need to discuss because it's not joke because we had to deal about the bodies and of course the health issues when it's coming down to the concussion. There's a few players that have been called for the concussion. One of my good friends, he was a football player. He was playing for a linebacker, and it was at the Edgy. He was a college football and a linebacker, and he was just like 3 concussions. I mean, you cannot prove me wrong because there's a serious issue to talking about it. What's happening for the concussions? There's the protocols or safety like that. So that's no joke because the concussions are really serious, and that's the point where they need to discuss about that.
No, you're not wrong about it, Raphael. It's something that they're going to have to monitor a lot more in the offseason because the fact that they're trying all this different types of player safety to try to help players not get these types of head injuries, and instead concussion seems to be continuing to go on the rise over the past few seasons. So the NFL's got to do something about that to try and limit the amount of concussions and head injuries happening with these NFL players. You're going to see a lot of these younger guys not want to step away from the game, prevent from future head trauma or anything. So I want DeAndre Hopkins to Dallas Cowboys for OBJ.
And of course, I got one of my friends that I was working at the retail store. His name is Austin. He was like an ex-football player from the college Duke, which is in North Carolina. And he gave me the good advice about it to learn about the football. But look, teaching about the football is very good, but you have to be careful about the concussions. You have to be careful about what's happening when you hit it on your head and everything about it because those concussions are no joke. And if you're going to learn about watching football, you have to be careful about the positions, about the wide receiver, about the quarterback. But the concussions are really serious. It could affect everybody. It is not a joke. It's all about the serious item that we need to discuss because in some point, they don't have the protocols to do about that.
By the way, just got a tweet from Adrian Wojnarowski. He retweets that the Brooklyn's Kyrie Irving has not shared a list of preferred teams he'd like to be traded to, but he has maintained an interest in the Los Angeles Lakers. Shocker. LA is expected to be among the teams that'll explore a possible trade with the Nets. They don't have if the Nets trade Kyrie Irving to the Lakers straight up, they are the dumbest organization I've ever seen. Sean Marks should be fired.
So who would you want?
Dump him.
Nobody?
There's nobody on that team that gives me any interest. I don't want Anthony
There's
Davis.
nobody,
He always gets
there's
hurt.
nobody. If you keep it
I don't
secret,
want any
I
of the
don't
young
care.
players. I don't want Westbrook. There's nobody on that team that catches my interest. Nobody. Did Kyrie Irving make the decision because of the ass whooping they got last game? I think he's been like this the entire season. I think last night was pretty much just an indication because of how bad the Boston Celtics kicked the Nets' ass. That
Just a wake-up call, I guess.
it was pretty much a wake-up call for the Nets. So they're just not going to. Seems like they're not in a position to compete right now against the likes of other teams. So
one team. Yes.
yeah.
There's only one team they're really interesting.
Yeah, if you guys want to throw out any more of your questions, you guys can. I'm going to probably go for another 15 minutes or so, and then I'm going to close out the live stream and probably make a video about this Kyrie Irving disaster. Then I'm going to go make something to eat because I'm starving, and I need to eat something so I can get this, nightmare out of my head immediately. So I'll stay on for another 15 minutes or so. I'll go about 3 hours. So if you guys want to throw out any more questions about the NBA, the NFL, whatever you guys want, I'm myself, Raphael, Mitch. We're here willing to listen to you guys and answer your questions for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and because of that, I was speaking about the NFL because right now there's something interesting about the rumors between Derek Carr and of course, because I gotta tell you something. When I just went to searching news about that. Jimmy Garoppolo could be landing in the Raiders next season, but I don't think it's very safe because he had the connection with Josh McDaniels. And I just saw a photo with Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers. I don't know whether this is coming because it depends on all the two. If it's Jimmy G or Aaron Rodgers, because I don't know. If they can stay up healthy at 100%, that will be sure. But I just wanted to say there's a lot of dysfunctional right there on this organization because at this point, Las Vegas Raiders needs a lot to rebuild and a lot of upgrade for the defense. They had linebacker, defensive tackle. There's a lot of them. And we just have 9 drafts in the 2023 NFL draft. So that's gonna be incredible. So I just hope that Mark Davis doesn't screw up the first round pick because I remember that I was seeing the first round pick, the last one that they got, Jamarcus Russell. I will want that say that name because Jamarcus Russell, he's done. It's trash. Because I don't want to mention that name.
That's very well said, Raphael. I appreciate you going into detail about that, but
yeah, I wasn't into the detail.
What do you think is going to happen with Derek Carr overall? What do you think is going to happen with your quarterback? Are you expecting him to be moved by sometime late this month or early next month? What do you think is going to happen exactly with Derek Carr while we're on the Raiders?
He was saying he will not to extend the contract trigger date because he was likely the final appearance because he was speaking during the Pro Bowl games. He will say he will not agree to amend the day which more than 40 million guarantees kicking. He was interested he'll be released by the team because he was saying I don't think that will be the best for me. He was authorized to speak potential trade partners, but he had no guarantee that he had the permission because he had a no trade clause on his contract. It would say he will redeem it necessary because he was speaking about that. Because he was talking about the adulation with the simple fans, which many in the body apart that. But I will say this: if they had the opportunity to make it for example, if he had a no trade clause, then I'll make it an example because we're months with the February 15, and he doesn't have it the extension about it. But if they can find a partner or is it a waive under this no trade clause. Because remember when they bench Carr with his 2 regular season games, they just send a clear message they didn't want to shred Carr contract before $40 million. But they gave permission. I think if they won't let Carr to teams about the possibly intent to guarantee best when they figure out the trade would possibly reduce his pay to facilitate this trade, they want to simply control the process. If the Raiders continue to take that position, those chants of flatly refusing to agree to waive his no trade clause will increase. If it makes clear that February 14th, he will make under a circumstance waive his no trade because he will daring the Raiders not to come here. If they definitely could cut him if it comes to that. But it will the only way to avoid with certainly $40 million in cash and cap obligations. Even if the owner, Mark Davis, had the cash flow for the richest owner of sports, there's a lot still kept space to the player like no longer wants. But they had to strike a deal before February 15, and they had to pursue the goal along with it.
So do you think, in your percentage-wise, in your heart of hearts, do you think that Derek Carr will be traded and will be playing on another team or release him from his contract if they can't come to some type of deal?
Yeah, definitely.
What team? Go ahead.
For the team that I was with, because I want the Derek Carr being traded because there's two teams that could be landed interesting. First, there was the New York Jets or the Carolina Panthers. That's the two teams that could be interesting for a trade.
And what kind of compensation do you think they're trying to look for in a trade for a Derek Carr? Like, what exactly would they be looking for?
Oh, for the looking at the position, I think that it's kind of like the position because they shouldn't have added the bare reasons. Because the Carolina Panthers, they want him. They want Derek Carr. Because they're like the interesting games because they're trying to figure it out, the quarterback situation for years. They had Disney Nicholas and like add a better ranked quarterback this offseason, and they probably could compete in the next season. And of course, after the retirement of Tom Brady, some Raiders fans are say, "Oh, we just want Tom Brady because I don't like Tom Brady being there on the Raiders because that's not because his older brother David, he was looking for stability in ownership at the head coaching position. He will find that one. And Dave Petley is one of the richest owners, and he's not going anywhere because they just hired Frank Radich as a head coach. So he will probably mess with Rage, which is our former quarterback himself, because he had a success with quarterbacks with both offensive coordinator. And I would say that they couldn't make it a difference maker for that division.
So you think, would you ask for a first-round pick for him?
Oh,
yes. Do you think you can get a first-round pick for him, or do you think it's more realistic to get a second-round pick or something else?
I was talking the more realistic about the first and second round because we want to trade Derek Carr and, of course, Darren Waller for the first and second round pick.
Oh, so you would package Darren Waller and Derek Carr together?
Yes, because we want to trade Derek Carr and Darren Waller for a first and second round pick.
You're pretty much trying to shed some salary off your deal too, because you have a lot of contracts tied up. You just signed Devontae Adams. You got Hunter Renfrow up to a new deal. You got Max Crosby. You got Chandler Jones. Obviously, Derek Carr.
And, of course, we got Josh Jacobs. Waller, we need to pay that man.
Well, are you guys going to be able to pay Josh Jacobs, or is he pretty much going to walk? Because he's another guy looking for a big deal. Like we have with Barkley, you guys have with Josh Jacobs. He's going to look for his money this offseason.
Yeah, exactly. But they actually are going to be probably extended, but I'm not very sure because I'm going to look it up for the news. Because they probably got extended after they come in for the off season. Probably.
So what kind of deal do you think Josh Jacobs is going to look for this off season in terms of from the Raiders?
Okay, so
what are the Raiders? Better question. My apologies for interrupting, but what exactly do you think Josh Jacobs is looking for? You think he's looking for $16 million a year, like Christian McCaffrey's deal?
Yes, probably yes. It's going to be like $1 million there. Because if they had to decide to stay for like 1 or 2 seasons more.
Okay. So you think he's looking for around that $16 million deal, which I kind of in a way agree with you a little bit.
Exactly. And we got to use the cat money for all defense that we had to build it.
No, I mean, it's going to be a fascinating thing for you guys too, because you have a big time free agent in Josh Jacobs that you guys should prioritize to try to keep after the season he had. And then you obviously have your quarterback. And then what are you guys going to do a quarterback afterwards? You eventually either trade or release Derek Carr. Who's your quarterback of the future? You don't have one right now on the roster.
But Imagine that because I have one particular name that could be feeling like because he was very good at preseason, but he has in the last 2 games for the season, but he need to improve more. His name is Jared Stackham. I would love to use it as a
Do you
starting
believe in
quarterback.
Jarrett Stidham though?
I would love to have it as starting quarterback, but he needs to improve a lot more. So I don't think it's gonna be ready about it.
Yeah, I don't know if Stidham's the answer. I think he's more of a backup quarterback, if anything.
Yeah,
So
he's kind of like a backup quarterback. But he has to adapt to a lot of more to be a starter quarterback.
yeah, I think you're putting a lot into a guy like Jarrett Stidham, who's really never proven
Exactly,
himself in the
exactly.
NFL. He's a good emergency player when you need him to go out there. He has some decent trade stand, but he's not an answer. He's not your answer as a franchise quarterback. It'd just be it would just blow up right in your face. So
Yeah, probably is gonna be like because the starting quarterback they need something like a rookie or a
that's true.
veteran. But we had one factor that we used to we had one factor that has been lacking of the speed
Mhm.
because we have some players and we had no speed at all. So we
Yeah.
needed something like the players we had the ability to speed, something like players in the combine, and of course the draft, and of course some of the teams, because
Mhm.
we have the defense of the Raiders. We don't have the speed amount for the games, and we just had 4 games with blowout.
I think you guys lack speed in the linebacking core, and you lack speed in the secondary too. You have not gotten the job done in the secondary for a while. Your secondary has been an absolute disaster. All teams are being able to pass all over your guys on defense. You might have those great pass rushers and a good defensive line, but the back end of your defense is not good, and your offensive line is very porous too. I mean, you guys drafted Alex Leatherwood last year. Try to move him out into try to play him at tackle. That failed.
Yeah,
Try to make guard, and then you ended up releasing him a year later.
Yeah, even Alice Leatherwood was stuck as a defensive guard, but I would say like with the safety. But there's one particular name that I will used to love to be like a dominated interior force for the next years. I would love to bring Siaki Ika from Louisiana State University because that team has been liking for a dominated interior force in the defense for years. And from the Baylor University, Siaki Ika will like a massive boost for the Simple and Black team because he will stand up for commanding the attention of two blockers rotary. In addition, can routine ensure and maintain gap discipline, making the arguably the best round defender along to the interior defensive line. He possesses a strong hands to shed and push back to the most rigorous opponents with incredible long arm technique. And he possessed like unique gifts because in many prospects like this, the competitive toughness could be lacking. But with Baylor, instead of defender, he brings the whole kid in every play with his motor at his size. Many were presumed to be dominated 2 down run stopper, but he can show up that he can play and make an impact on every down.
Yeah, well, I mean, if that's one of the guys that you're hoping they could scout and bring in there, that's one guy to keep an eye on. And what is maybe if he's a projected second, third round player, could even be a first rounder. I got to do more scouting on him. Maybe he could be a guy the Giants could look at as well if he's an interior offensive lineman.
We kind of looking about the scouting about, hey, that player has looking good because he got an amazing speed. So I'm kind of like at the scouting. Yeah, because we had to keep an eye what players should be interesting, should be put into the defense, and what players should be not because they have liking.
Exactly. And a lot of it has to do too when it comes to that kind of stuff. A lot of it has to do as well with how players' footwork looks, how players' hand placement in terms of offensive linemen, how well they're moving in and out of the back, how quickly they react to the rush on the outside, if they're able to pick it up easily. So a lot of it has to do with that kind of stuff too. So it's not easy being an offensive lineman when you first come into the NFL. So that's very intriguing too. So, but thank you very much, Raphael. Thank you I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish your point. My fault.
Okay, so I will just finish the point because right now I had to move on because I just wanted to take like anything else. Even though I'm a rookie learning the NFL, I know my things because I was watching football games, I was watching the films, and of course, I'm trying to a little bit about the scouting report because I was looking for players. You got the amount of speed and, of course, the power, the intensity about these players for the college footballs like Duke, like Baylor State, and everything else, I was like, wow, that's very interesting for me. And I will say this: that season for the Raiders could be like huge improve for the defense, because over the last season, which is 2021, 2022, we just lost the wild card against the Cincinnati Bengals. That season, we're just the worst of all the NFL. But right now, if we had the opportunity to upgrade the defense for the Raiders, that could be better. And I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong, because even that person right here, Raphael, with Asperger's syndrome, which is a special condition, not a sickness, not a disease. Even though I understand about what's going on for the NFL, even I'm still looking about it, even though I'm a rookie, even though I'm had the book for anything about learning about the positions of quarterback, wide receiver, running back, linebacker, anything, because I'm still teaching, I'm still learning about those guys. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about it, what's happening to the NFL, and of course for my team Raiders. And yes, I can learn a lot of more.
Well, it says it right here. I listen to podcasts often now so I can learn more. Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
I'm still. We're all learning. We're all learning as we go. We learn from each other. We learn from others. That's what you're supposed to do when it comes to this type of profession that you want to do on YouTube. You're always in the mindset of learning new things every single time. Your brain is always functioning. It's always going. So you're always in the mood and always want to learn new things as you go forward. So I'll go for like another 5-10 minutes, and then I'm gonna have to close down the live stream because I got to do something with the Brooklyn Nets. I got to talk about more about the Kyrie Irving situation. But
so speaking of the Kyrie, the top teams that are potential shooters are the Lakers, Suns, and the Mavericks.
Well, the Suns make sense. They have a lot of young players the Nets could be interested in trading for that team.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't say Miami.
I don't think Miami has anybody the Nets are interested in.
The right spot.
Tyler Hero?
We already have enough players like Tyler Hero on our team.
They have enough, and they have
Tyler Hero is a shooter. He's not really a defender. He's a shooter. We have Joe Harris. We have Patty Mills. We have Seth Curry.
Yeah, but you just said that Joe Harris is not consistent. Tyler Hero is more consistent than Harris.
Well, Randy, if you're gonna pop on very soon. Hop on the stream. I'll go a little longer if you got some NBA.
I'll go with your stream that shift. Yes.
Hop on then. You don't need he doesn't need the link, right?
No.
Okay, yeah, hop on, Randy, and come on, drop some NBA news if you got some.
All right.
Right after this, I'm going to make a video on the whole Kyrie Irving situation, so just be on the lookout for that if I'm not throwing up from just depression after hearing this as a Net fan. So I know it's like me being dramatic, but still. Tyler Hero can't be traded on his rookie deal while Joe Harris is as well. Yeah, there you go. Nobody wants Joe Harris. Nobody wants him.
We'll give you a quick mod.
No. I'm asking, are we going live with this news? Well, I'm already live talking about it.
You're already live talking about it.
This is the live stream. We've been talking about this story for literally the past hour plus. So I mean, this is me going live about this whole story. So yeah, we've been talking about this for literally like the past hour or so about the whole Kyrie Irving situation and what the Nets do going next. Like, what's the next thing that happens? So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what's the next course of action with the Brooklyn Nets. There's going to be a lot to talk about. Yeah, I can't wait either. Can't wait.
And guys, just a reminder, me and Philly Halftime are going live tonight at 7:45 for the Sixers and Spurs. Tomorrow, Jeff and I are doing the Mavericks and Warriors. Sunday, I'm doing Sixers vs Knicks. I don't know about Monday. Probably going to do Monday Night Raw with you guys.
The Heat would never trade Tyler Hero though too, and the Nets have tried to trade Joe Harris, just nobody wants him. That's why, you hear about Patty Mills potentially being traded or Seth Curry.
Hey, we waited years with Ben Simmons. No one wanted him. You guys took him. So,
yeah, but I don't hate Joe Harris. Yeah. I have no issues with Joe Harris. He's just inconsistent, and he's gotten hurt the past couple of years.
I know. I'm hearing you, but I'm just saying if you give it time, someone will obviously offer a trade for Joe Harris or something.
Not with his contract. He makes a lot of money and doesn't produce for his money he
Ben
makes.
Simmons' contract was worse.
Yeah, but Ben
Yep.
Simmons, people bet on him because he was younger and still had some upside. Joe Harris is 30-plus years old, and he's now injury prone,
Yeah, but
making a lot of money.
When you're in the league for a long time, shooters, they're in the league for a long time. No matter if you're consistent or not, you're in the league for a long period of time. Look at Vince Carter. Look
What's
at
up,
Dirk.
Randy?
Yo, Randy, what's good, bro?
What is up? Yeah. So what I was, I've been busy kind of hopping on
Number
everybody's
And right there,
trade
Philly Sports
trade
Talk.
offers
What up?
and trade proposals, and there's a lot of people who are thinking that if the Heat were to make a move because they don't really have a lot of draft capital, that it would be like a Kyrie Irving and probably a Seth Curry for like Kyle Lowry, Nikolai Jokic, and Caleb Martin type deal. Would you do that?
Wait, say it again?
Jovic. So it's Jovic, Caleb Martin, and Lowry for Irving and Seth Curry.
Yeah, because they have to make the money work.
I
would.
like Caleb Martin and Jovic. I don't know much about Jovic. I don't know how
Apparently
good
he
of a
was
player
a
he is.
stud. Apparently he was a stud
He's
in
the
Europe.
same thing as Jokic, just a younger version.
I mean, if Miami's willing to give him up for a potential run at a championship, I think about it because I like Caleb Martin, and this Jovic kid intrigues me.
But here's
Yeah.
the thing. I don't think Butler would tolerate Kyrie Irving's shenanigans. Look what happened with him in the Sixers. He wanted out of there first thing smoking.
Gotcha.
So you
Yeah,
gotta
but they
talk
wanted,
to
maybe they'd entertain
you
it.
gotta talk to Jimmy Butler and his hairdo, which I don't understand at all.
Everybody needs to. You guys should have brought up like the NBA trade machine and then just try to like
Yeah, we're gonna do that on a trade deadline. I was
see what
thinking
teams
that.
would potentially want him to fit, and then try to see what
Yeah.
players.
We're gonna do that on Thursday. That's a good
Well,
idea.
remember, too, the Nets could easily just call his bluff and not trade him like they did with Kevin Durant in the offseason, where they might try to – Kyrie Irving's going to try to force his way out. It sounds like he wants the Lakers. The Lakers are the team that it seems like his preferred destination, but we talked about in the offseason. There's nobody on that Lakers team the Nets want. There's no young players that have high upside. There's no good players on that team that can remain healthy. I don't want Anthony Davis. He gets
What
hurt
about
way too
Brian
much.
Reeves? I like Brian Reeves.
I don't want Reeves. I don't want Reeves.
No.
Not for Kyrie Irving. No.
No.
That's a lot.
Obviously not just for him. Obviously. It's gonna have to be a 3-team trade if he has to go to Lakers. It's gonna be a 3-team trade, no matter what.
And a lot of teams don't have their first round picks.
Yeah.
Including us. Including the Sixers.
We got all of
Yeah.
ours.
We have nothing.
Hey. We'll give you Furkan Korkmaz for first.
Fuck that.
Oh,
my
Randy,
God.
Randy.
We do
hold
need
on.
3-point help, but I won't take that. No way in hell.
Hey,
No.
Randy, I just put your channel on the Thursday stream. I don't know if you saw it.
No, thank you.
Yeah. So you're on there. You're good. And by the way, guys, please subscribe to Next Shift Randy. He is
Yes.
84 subscribers, 16 away from 100. So please give him a subscribe.
Rafa was the last one to subscribe to me, so I really appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
it's always a pleasure, this shift, and we can collaborate very soon.
Yes, man, for
Because
sure.
Even though I had a
a
schedule
trade right
balance
here.
between
Let me
the
see.
work
Alright,
and
can you read
everything,
it?
so I will definitely come up.
Yeah, man.
Philly
I like-
Sports Suck threw out a trade saying Nets receive Russell Westbrook, Austin Reeves, Lonnie Walker IV, and 2027 first-round pick to the Lakers for Kyrie Irving and Patty Mills. No.
No.
You wouldn't do that, no?
No.
No.
I was saying in Spanish. No, jamás. No.
That's
No.
too much. That's
No,
too
No
much.
bueno. No
No
bueno. Los
No.
Angeles Lakers.
Los-
Hey, he's a Knicks fan, so give him time. He's a Knicks fan, okay? So
Oh,
that's
he
why.
wants to see us. He wants to see us suck. That's why.
That's
He's
why.
probably reveling in the Nets sucking.
I was watching the Clippers
What?
game last night, and they were saying a lot that they don't like how Paul George is the one that's being the main ball handler, bringing the ball up the court. So they're like, do they go back to Reggie Jackson or blah, blah, blah? And then all of a sudden this morning, this news breaks. So I know there's not a possibility. He probably wants to go play with LeBron on the Lakers, but could you imagine if he goes to the Clippers and plays with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard? Holy shit.
Ugh.
They
Yeah, but
they
the-
do have pieces. They do.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Like Luke Kennard.
That's the deal. Apparently, there's a deal that was apparently being tossed around. It's Terrence Mann, Luke Kennard, and somebody else for Kyrie Irving.
Depending on who the third
I don't know how I feel
player
about
is,
Luke
I would do
Kennard.
it. Luke
He
Kennard's
leads the league in
best
three.
three-point. He's the best 3-point shooter in the league.
Yeah,
Yeah, we already
47%.
have a bunch of 3-point shooters on the team. Can he defend?
So
Can he play defense?
Uh,
Then
Then
no.
that's spotty.
We
That's
need defense.
spotty.
We need defenders.
defense. He's
we
better
need
than Curry
defenders.
on defense.
Yeah, anybody's better than Seth Curry. We need players on defense. We have no defense. That's the problem with us. Our players that can shoot the three can't play
Randy,
defense. I don't
you know
want
what
another
that reminds
shooter.
Randy, you know what that reminds me of? Did you ever play the game called NFL Street?
Yes.
Where's the defense? I can't see the defense. Dude, that was my favorite. That's my favorite game of all time. The first one and the second.
Oh my god.
Mavs, I don't see the Mavs just because they don't really have a lot. Like, and the question will now remains is like, are you guys looking for young talent or are you looking for capital for the
Are you looking
future?
for capital, defense,
I
young
think both.
talent?
I think
Yeah.
both.
Oh, they're like both. Oh,
Maybe like probably a young player that's becoming a star. That's what they're
Okay.
probably looking for, a young player
Trade
that's a
for,
star.
trade for the first overall pick and get Victor Wembanyama. You said.
yeah.
We're not getting.
Victor
No.
Wembanyama. You're just
No, I'm
pissing
not
Jeff
trading
off,
for-
Mitch.
yeah.
Jeez.
No, I love Victor Wembanyama.
No,
I love him.
I. Nope.
Hey, you like Victor Wembanyama? I like Zach Edey.
Why did you do that?
Because
Oh no.
I can do that too.
No. Oh,
hey, my live stream. My live
Hey,
stream.
God.
my StreamYard.
Arku, I wouldn't do Tim
Ace
Hardaway
Street
Jr. and Bertans for Kyrie. I would not do that trade.
What was it again?
Fun? Tim
Arku
Hardaway
said
and
Tim
Bertans.
Hardaway and Bertans for Kyrie.
No,
No.
that'd be a
No.
disaster.
No.
No,
I
absolutely
like
not.
Bertans though. I do.
Hardaway's not good enough to be for that type of compensation. I would not.
Hardaway
Exactly.
can shoot
Yeah.
in defense though.
Wait, bless you. I want players that can come on this team that can be a young star, but could also play some defense on the wing. That's the problem with the Nets. They don't have wing defenders.
Gotcha.
Royce O'Neal has played decent on the wing. He's been solid. I'm not even getting started about number 10. I mean, he's been more invisible than he's been on the
Oh,
court.
you're calling him number 10
Oh.
now. How cute.
I mean, like,
Aw.
At this
we
point,
had to call him number 25.
at this point, like the Nets, this whole thing has thrown a monkey wrench in what the Nets are going to do, and also what's going to happen with Kevin Durant.
Oh, I gotta tweet that.
Yeah.
out.
When is Kevin Durant going to finally? Is he going to request a trade eventually too? He's got the difference between Irving and Durant is Durant's locked into a long-term deal with the Nets. He's not
Yeah.
going anywhere. The Nets have his. They control what they want to do with him. Kyrie Irving, that's a different story. He's a free agent, so he could walk if he wanted to after the season.
How many free agents do you have?
I don't even know. I haven't looked at the list.
You
And is
got
that the thing? Okay,
Kyrie,
Jeff, let's keep it
Curry.
real. Do you want something for Kyrie at this point now that all of this drama that he's starting to bring now before the trade deadline? Or at this point are you like, you know what, if he leaves in the offseason, it is what it is. We obviously didn't work out, so
No, I want compensation because
You
I'm
want
not going to
comp.
let somebody.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want somebody as talented as Kyrie Irving to just walk out of the building and we get nothing for him because then you have nobody. You have no young star there to potentially take over for Kyrie Irving if he leaves. So I mean, the problem is the Nets right now are in a bad situation because of the fact that now teams know they could get desperate because
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving made the trade request. So the question is, what are the Nets going to do? Are they going to call his bluff and potentially risk him leaving in the offseason? And then what are you going to do? You're going to have nothing there to replace him with. And you have Kevin
Yeah,
Durant.
they
who potentially-
desperately, the
Yeah,
Mavericks
yeah,
desperately
yeah.
desperately want a co-star. And halftime, pop on in, man. Pop on
Well,
in.
I'm
because
not
you-
going to stay on much longer. I'm only going to go on for a little bit more because I'm gonna get something to eat soon. I haven't eaten anything all day, so I'm going to stay on for like a little bit longer. So,
I might go live later for this because I want to still talk about this because I just got done work.
Aren't you streaming a basketball game tonight?
No. The only basketball game I'm
I might
streaming.
hop on with you, Randy.
The only basketball stream I'm streaming is the Utah game after the trade deadline.
Trade deadline. Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
Wait.
streaming the Nets and Bulls right after the trade deadline, but
I'm streaming the
What's up,
Sixers
Bluebird?
and Spurs with halftime tonight. So Let me see here.
Sixers get a bacon, egg, and balls, and Knicks get James Harden. You still lose. You still lose.
Bruh.
Sorry, you'd still lose that trade.
I know.
Because James Harden is going to find a way to screw it up when he gets to the postseason. So
I know.
Yeah, so it just said here right now, it says Mavs, Suns, and Lakers, like Arku said, are the key suitors for Kyrie.
the Suns are the one I want the most if we're going to trade them. Because the Suns have a lot of
Yeah.
good young players I'd like. A lot
Yeah.
of them. Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Cam Payne. I like all three of those guys a lot. A couple of other nice little pieces over there. Maybe they can get – I don't think they can get Booker, but you never know. I don't think they're going to trade us Devin Booker. Maybe I mean, we don't really need DeAndre Ayton because we have Claxton. So, I mean, the Suns are probably – if we're going to trade Kyrie Irving, the Suns are the team I'd look at.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know, Bluebird. It's I have no idea. I really don't. I wish I had an answer, but I really don't for why Kyrie Irving wants out, especially on a team that has a potential chance to win a championship. But
Kendra Perkins has said this is supposed to be MJ Day, and we're here dealing with Kyrie Irving again.
I didn't even know that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's MJ Day. 2-3-2-3 today.
Yeah, and what else is new? It's another day of Brooklyn Nets torture. Another day. That's exactly what it is. But Brooklyn Nets torture. This is what I deal with.
Hey,
Kyrie to
watch.
Dallas won't cost
watch.
much, but I don't
I'm
know
going
if
to
I want
speak
to.
it into existence here. Halftime, watch that the Sixers lose to the Spurs tonight.
Okay, so they're going to win.
Yeah.
The Nets are crumbling and falling apart real quick. Time to rebuild. I'm not against the rebuild. If they end up trading Kyrie Irving, if we don't get anything back for him, then at this point, trade Kevin Durant. If you can get anything for Ben Simmons, get him off the team and see what players on this team that you want to try
Good
to
luck
go
with
with going
that.
forward. I mean, we need young assets. We need draft picks. We need a future. And the Nets don't have a future right now once Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant leave. It's Cam Thomas, who's a nice young player. Day'Ron Sharp, who I like. I love Claxton. But otherwise who else on this team is a young player? Kessler Edwards, he's a G League guy. David Duke Jr., no. Drew Smith, no. We don't have really any young players. Alondas Williams was the kid we did have, but we released him off the G League. So there's really nobody on this team you could really say are the future of this basketball teams. The Nets are not. The Nets are, everybody still thinks the Nets aren't a big market team because the fact we play in Brooklyn, not New York City. Even though it is New York City, they still consider us a little small market team. So
Wow.
I don't even know what to say. I really don't. I'm just frustrated.
Wow.
This team it's just every time this team just finds ways to torture myself and the Nets fan base. So I don't even know what the hell to say. I'm still like updating.
Between what Katie did in the offseason and now Kyrie, it's like, my God, you guys.
And don't forget number 10.
Well, now you understand why I always get so frustrated with the Nets. Now you get it. Now anybody that ever
I always
says I
got
complain
it.
too much, when I complain too much, I whine too much and everything. Do you understand what this team has done to me over the past 10 years?
Yeah, I understand. I understand your pain.
Been there, done that.
I mean,
Actually, Sixers are still going through it.
So, I mean,
Shoot.
the Kyrie Irving timeline since signing with the Nets. In 2019, 2020, he played 20 games because he was hurt. 2021, he got hurt in the playoffs. We all know what happened against the what do you call it?
yep.
The Milwaukee Bucks, where we lost at the end. Foot was on the line, Kevin Durant. 2021, 2022, he cratered because of the vaccination stuff, so he missed a whole lot of games. And then, obviously, he was part of the forcing of, James Harden traded for Ben Simmons. And then 2022, 2023, he demands a trade. And the Nets have paid him $136 million for this.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the Kyrie Irving timeline with the Nets. And Kevin Durant's is not much better. It's not much better.
Yeah. Fuck.
I'm ready for anything. I'm ready for a drink right now,
yes.
Rob. I'm ready for a drink.
It's
Rob.
about time.
That's what I'm waiting for, a drink.
I'm not ready
I'm so
for
upset.
it.
The
I'm
Sixers somehow
super
lose
ready
the first
for the
night, I will
sports
bang my
talk.
head against
Yes,
the wall.
sir.
Don't give yourself a concussion, Bluebird.
Bluebird, I might be there with you. Just make sure you make sure you pop into my stream for that. Me and halftime.
What the heck is that?
Halftime's starting to like basketball. Which is cool. I like it. I like it.
Kyrie's linked to 4 teams. Actually, the Heat are included.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
Lakers,
I thought it
the
would
Heat,
be
the Mavs, and the Suns. Those are the 4 teams linked to the Nets.
Heat,
I'm gonna have
Mavs,
to scout
Suns.
some of
That's
these teams.
3.
Yeah, Jeff. Yeah, look at the
Wait,
rosters.
Heat,
Yeah.
Mavs, Suns. Who's the 4th?
Heat, Mavs, Suns, Lakers.
Got it. 4.
The
I don't
Lakers are
think-
going to be Lakers are number 1 because of the
Well,
fact
yeah.
he wants to play with LeBron.
Yeah.
But at this time, the Lakers to me out of those 4 teams are by far the least likely I would trade with. The Suns are my number 1. If I was going to trade Kyrie, Suns are 1. I think they have the best young talent on that out of all those teams. I'd probably say the Heat are second because I'm intrigued by that Jovic kid.
Yeah,
I'm
me
very
too.
intrigued by Jovic. And
Yeah.
Caleb Martin I like a lot as a good player. And then the Mavs would be third because I don't really see anybody. I think the Mavs are a little bit more young talent than the Lakers, but there's really nothing else outside of Luka that really gets my – we can't trade Hero. Randy just talked about it before. Hero is untradeable right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same thing with Joe Harris. We can't trade him either. So it would be a moot point to even talk about that, about
Really?
trading Joe Harris or for Tyler Hero, even though I'd love to have Tyler Hero on my team. So, but yeah, Randy, if you do decide to do a live stream later, maybe I'll hop on. Depending, what time do you plan on going live?
Probably in like an hour or so, or a little less.
I don't know, maybe I will, because if you're gonna go on later on tonight, I'm gonna be probably just making myself something to eat and just doing a reactionary video on the net. So
I'll
maybe.
shoot you a message on Twitter and let you know.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
But I'll go for like another few minutes. What else do you got? Like, any guys have any other parting words or something for the next 4 minutes or so before we close down the live stream?
I'm not
Well,
going to say
I was gonna say I don't know if you guys heard me, but Hero and Harris can't be traded because they signed their extensions after their rookie deal. So there's something in place for that. So Hero and Harris can't be traded this year. So
And then
just FYI.
next Sunday, Randy and I are super excited.
Mm. I'm also excited for the Daytona 500.
When is that
Wrong
again, Randy?
time.
When is that again, Randy?
February 19th.
Okay, I still need to know the drivers.
Wow. Yes.
Also, the Caribbean Series and the World Baseball Classic. I gotta check out the World Baseball Classic more. I gotta get more baseball stuff coming soon.
Yeah, because even though I'm Hispanic, I'm just look at the baseball
I'm
game.
not even
but
watching it on TV, so ha.
Oh, that's awesome. So you got Rafa, he's Hispanic, so he's going to be following the Hispanic team. You got Jeff, who's American, so he's going to follow the American team. And you got me, who's going to be following the Canadian team.
I'm gonna be following
There you go. There you go. That's it. You understand?
No, not you.
Yeah.
Is there a Jewish team?
Maybe.
That's my question. Is there?
Okay.
There's
I
a
got
team called
that.
the Kopskis.
Yay! We can give
And they're
people
gonna come in
money for
last
the
place.
base if you want. We'll be like, here, I'll give you
Finish
20. I'll give you $20 for a double.
It's the Kopskis versus the
Randy?
Shifts.
Oh.
The Kopskis versus the Shifts.
The shift.
The Shifts. I can't think of anything else. I just popped in my head. I'm sorry. I didn't even notice Raphael's got a WWE sweatshirt on too.
Nice,
bro.
Better, yes.
I caught it, but I was wondering what that was. Yeah.
I was like wondering what the WW
Yeah,
was, but I'm like, oh,
same.
WWE. Like I had to put 2 and 2 together on that one because there's no E on it. It's just
Oh, he busted
Raphael's
the
got
belt.
the belt.
He's got the fucking belt.
There's no E.
Oh, they took the E out? Oh.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah,
E on it.
that's the without the E. That's without the E. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
When
used
did they
to
take
turn
out the E?
sideways for the E. It's been out for a while. They used to have the F, but they've always had just the W.
Yeah, because I remember growing up watching the WWE, then they switched it to the WWF, and now it's the WW.
Yeah, because
No. It was the WWF, and then it became the WWE.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
Okay, right.
WWF, yeah.
Okay.
They had to change it because the World Wildlife Foundation.
Oh,
sued them.
Wow.
They had to
Right.
change it. They had to change it back in 2002 to the WWE because the WWF got sued because of the World Wildlife Foundation.
It's like you go to the Wildlife Foundation's website and it's like, time to play the game.
Yeah.
Time to play the game.
Oh yeah, panda.
okay.
If you smell what the crocs
Oh,
are
my
cooking. Oh,
Have a nice day with the monkeys.
Wait, what? Oh, the World Wildlife.
I was
Miss, you
gonna
were
say
too
something with
late.
Shawn Michaels.
No, because I was getting my charger. I didn't even hear you.
Rest
I had
Oh.
headphones plugged in.
in peace, orangutans.
Rest in peace.
No, it's rest in bananas.
Kangaroos.
It's rest in
Kangaroos.
bananas. Get it right. It's rest in
What?
bananas.
Rest in the bananas. But anyways, we
Guys.
better let Jeff go. He's gotta fuel up. He's feeling it right now. So
No, I'm feeling it all right. But I
Oh,
want to say
man, dude.
thank you to Randy. Thank you to Mitch. Thank you to Raphael. Thank you to NYG22. Thank you all for coming by this Football Friday, which turned into a basketball and football live stream throughout the day.
My
I want to say
fault,
thank you
sorry.
guys all very much for coming by here on this Friday. We will be back. You'll see myself, Randy, and Mitch on Thursday for the the NBA trade deadline. The NBA trade deadline. Randy's got his Raptor stuff. I got my net stuff. Mitch's got his
we playing the
Eagles stuff.
Rockets tonight. We're whooping those Rockets ass tonight.
We're playing the Spurs.
Oh,
Eddie,
We're not playing
Hey,
tonight, but we're going to get
we're-
ready for
Randy,
next-
we're each gonna beat Texas.
Yeah.
There you go. We're going to beat
Texas,
Texas, but
you the state of going down tonight, homies.
bye,
There we go.
Texas.
Now
Thank
we're
you
gonna
guys
lose,
all
watch.
for coming by. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your Friday. TGIF Friday. Stay warm and always take it easy. And let's go New York Football Giants and let's go Brooklyn Nets. It's a Nets world. We're all just living in it. And of course, together blue, everyone. Have a great rest of your Friday.